How's everyone going? Welcome to today's BioDevils podcast. Today's going to be a little bit more survival horror centric, but we do got a few other topics to talk about. And Nate Talks to You is supposed to be coming in hopefully soon, maybe late, but yeah, he should be coming in. But that being said, why don't we start off with Metal Gear? And I think one of us has to share play this also, I think. Or screen share
James?
this.
I can't. I'm not on my PC right now.
Alright. I can do it. Or if you want to do it, Brandon.
What are you screen sharing?
This Metal Gear 5 demo.
You can do it, Dom.
Alright, I'll go for it. We will go for this one. Everyone. Alright, and just make sure to unmute yourselves.
Wait, can't you just share it via YouTube instead of screen sharing it?
No, I'm screen
no, it
sharing
won't show.
for the viewers because the viewers can't watch the
Ah.
YouTube app when we're viewing it.
So they can watch it. Then.
Yeah, they can't watch it, but we can in the YouTube app.
You guys can hear it, right?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm probably gonna pause on some of the parts that I was kind of right on the speculation on when we were talking about this game last time.
This should be interesting.
Yeah, it's various different scenarios that you can go through on one single mission. Via time of day, different route, different equipment. Oh, hey, Nate's here.
Hello.
Nathan Drake.
Is that what it's appearing as my name on the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's not my actual name, by the way. I just use it for online because privacy.
Because I'm Uncharted.
That is actually the main character's name in that
The ironic thing is though is I've never actually played Uncharted ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna stop right here. Nate, do you have the YouTube app open?
Is that what you're using right now to like display this and everything?
I'm using SharePlay because the YouTube app can't be shown to the viewers, but I do have it.
Yeah, I do see the app in the sidebar. I'll open it up right now.
Yeah. Just make sure whenever we hit the play button to unmute yourself because it does mute you every time you hit the play button.
It gets annoying.
Yeah. With that being said, just to kind of go over some of this stuff. So, like, I mentioned that there's like different variants, and that was shown off. Yep, that was shown off a little bit in the the E3 demo. And what's interesting enough is that something that I've wanted was like stun assault rifles and all that, which I think Brandon you mentioned that could never happen, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, what happened?
That stun assault rifles could never happen in Metal Gear.
I never expected that to happen. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah. And I completely disregarded the fact that rubber bullets exist. So that's what they're using the excuse as for assault rifles.
Must be really painful if you think about it. From assault rifle with rubber bullets.
Yeah, they show it off a bit in action. So I mean, I'm just gonna play the video and make sure you guys the unmute button. Nate and Kevin and Brandon.
Nice pose.
Yeah. Nate, your mic is still muted. Just hit the green bar on
there
there.
we go. I'm good now.
Yep. There we go.
Hey, just for nitpicking sake, why the guns are blue?
I think that's just to signify the variant that player is using.
Wouldn't
'Cause
that
you
throw away
can-
the camouflage by any chance?
I don't know. It might. I mean, I know camouflage isn't based on a index like in the previous games.
I got a car there already. So you could pre-plan everything, right?
Yeah, you can pre-plan everything. You can set up your equipment, your camouflage, headgear, character you want to play as, customize guns. So that's why the barrel is blue. Like you can switch out barrels and different attachments and whatnot. I'm gonna stop it like right here, really quick. I know like in the previous demos, they've usually done it either at night or during a really like sunny day in the location. So this is like the first time they've gone through this mission where it was like a little more cloudy and a bit foggy.
The weather's
Um,
not good today, type of setting.
yeah. Because I know they did mention that weather conditions do play a part in this game.
This is probably the most dynamic weather in any other game this generation so far.
Correct. I mean, if you guys want to kind of jump in on this, feel free to before I hit the play button, because I know Kevin, James, and Nate are kind of dead there.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, I mean, you know that I'm not really a big follower of Metal Gear and everything, so I'm just kind of here to observe.
Which is fine. I mean, you could probably learn a thing or two, in terms of Metal Gear. I know you're the next topic that we're coming up, that's coming up. You'll be a little bit more interested in.
What else are we covering in this stream?
Today we're going to be covering a lot more survival horror stuff. So we're going to be talking about Alison Road next, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
No, all right.
So yeah. All right, I'm going to hit play, unless if James or Kevin wants to say anything.
Yeah. No, we better stay quiet.
So I don't got much right now.
All right, cool. Brandon, don't forget to unmute yourself.
Wait, that's quiet.
Yeah, you can send out quiet, and I think you can do this with D-Dog as well. Send them out to Scout, and they'll mark enemies for you.
I forgot how fast she is.
Also, that Trickster Dash.
I know, right? I keep forgetting how fast she is.
Yeah, Snake is style switching. GG.
Right.
I tell you, she could be the best scout so far, because how fast she is, and she turns invisible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and this also confirms that you can equip Quiet with a trank sniper rifle rather than a lethal one.
Thank God.
Which I had a feeling that was the case. I mean, why would they do that if you're trying to go for no kill runs?
Unless her kills don't count. No, what's the point of carrying a sniper rifle if you have her around?
It's a good point. I mean, I guess you could be like a sniper spotter team in a sense, but I don't know.
She's quick scoping everyone. What's that, stun grenade?
Yeah, they've done this before with like a regular grenade and a helicopter in one of their previous demos, but they're showing you how you can do that with quiet.
Now, for him running out, that's just for demonstrations, right?
I'm sorry?
He's just running out in the open. That's just for
Yeah, I
demonstrations,
think
right?
that every time he gets caught, it's just for demonstration purpose how you can go from stealth to action.
At least the penalty for killing isn't so big this time.
Right.
I mean, that's one of my biggest criticism for the Metal Gear series. What's the point of having all these lethal weapons if you can't kill anyone?
I think it's more for casual players and first-time Metal Gear players. Whereas like stun guns and trank guns, those are more for new players, or I mean hardcore players and veterans alike.
That makes sense.
I remember Koss was complaining, why can't I use all these crazy guns?
Yeah, I agree
Oh
with
yeah,
him, especially in Peace Walker.
I think he'll like this version of Metal Gear Solid 5 more. Just because there's so much customization, especially in terms of like weapons. Like you can go crazy and make whatever gun you want.
Wait, she's laying on her back. For you to do that, you had to jump on your back, right?
I'm sorry?
She just lie down on her back to snipe. If you had to do that, you had to like literally jump back on your back just to do it.
I think you have to either dive or lay down and then just aim and kind of turn around, basically, or look up. There's a way to do it. It's kind of hard to describe it. This part of the demo isn't all that exciting, but the later parts are.
What are you talking about for here?
There's this. There's one, and like for the Japanese version, it's hilarious because they have like Akio Otsuka, the Japanese voice actor for Snake, come on and do the demo, which was kind of cool. But
If only it had David Hayter. Oh wait.
yeah.
Cos will love this part.
Yeah, I think, like they realized that they needed to cater to multiple play styles.
Which is about time, really.
Let's be real, Koss just wants to go nuts in a tank.
Who doesn't, really?
He did in Ground Zeroes.
Yeah, stealth is fun till a point, but then I get bored with it.
Ass.
Oh, Nate, you know your mic is muted, right?
Yeah, I know. I just don't want to. While I'm watching this, I don't want to have any like background noise from my bedroom getting in there.
Oh, okay.
By accident.
That's totally fine. Totally understandable.
Yeah, Snake's getting serious now. The armor is bigger than the armors he used before, right? It just looks very bulky.
Yeah, I think they based off the design off of the stealth suit.
Oh, speaking of stealth suit, by any chance, are we going to see that suit from Metal Gear Solid 4 in here?
The Octo camo?
Yeah, that one.
Nope. Because there's no
That'd be
camo
cheat
index.
code shit right there.
I didn't really like the Octo camo. To be quite
I
honest,
like it really. It's just convenient. That's what I really like it for, just for convenience sake.
Some people say it's OP.
what happened at Taste? You. Oh, you mean when we were leaving from the Field Museum, Nate?
Yeah, that.
If you want, we can talk about that later. Cause like after all of our topics, it's fair game.
All right, cool.
Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I liked how like every time they send out a new pilot for the helicopter, it's a different name rather than Morpho, like in Ground Zeroes.
No one likes Morpho.
Well, Morpho's a dick. He left me. He left me for dead multiple times. He left me when I had prisoners to extract, and yeah, like
Just randomly
literally when I was
leave.
in front of him too. It's just. I hope they fix the pilot AI in that, or the
They must have
helicopter
a
AI.
timer
Just give me
set.
the option to make him wait or go. Not hard.
Reinforcements. Snake got this. He's a one-man army.
I would have liked it. You know that reminds me, James. You bring up a good point. I would have really liked it if they had like an attack and defensive option for the helicopter pilot,
Like air
kind of
support.
like a support buddy.
Yeah, air support would be nice from the helicopter.
I
That'd probably be
mean,
too
there
easy.
is air support, but I mean, like, imagine if it was more like you can pick whether or not you want it to be a more offensive or defensive during a battle.
I don't remember if the helicopter's even that durable, though.
The one in Ground Zeroes, no, but the one in Phantom Pain can be upgraded and you can get better helicopters. So
Sort of like Peace
technically,
Walker, right?
yes. In a
So
sense,
like,
Peace Walker on steroids, basically.
okay, that makes sense. You know, Kaz gonna love this one.
Yeah. The next one is great, especially if you watch the Japanese demo. I'm not sure if you all have seen it, because it's absolutely great.
No, I ain't seen any of the demos prior to the new ones they released.
I'm just gonna pause it right here. I think I mentioned before, like like the head options and whatnot, in the last time we talked about this game, where like you can customize the character. In this case, it would be Snake. You can have him wear a scarf or a ponytail, different camos, different equipment, like different bionic arms and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm curious what outfits like D-Dog, what's her face, Quiet would wear.
I know. What was
What?
that, James?
Quiet's already perfect.
I know that for D-Dog there's a sneaking suit. There's two different ones that he has. One that has him carry a lethal knife, and another that has him carry a stun knife.
Oh, so now dogs can wield knives. What's this, Ninja Gaiden?
Yeah, basically, fucking Ninja Gaiden with katana wielding dogs. Like, how does that work?
Science.
Ninja dogs.
Right. All right. I'm hitting play now. The this demo is pretty interesting, and the last one is probably my favorite. But we'll get to that when that comes up after this one.
He's bringing the horse with him, right?
I think so, yeah. I would say watch this part of the Japanese demo because there's a really funny moment, and I'll mention it when it happens.
Is there a rocket punch?
Maybe. Just the way that it's said, okay? That's what makes that whole part of the demo great.
That and the part where Snake is now a sentinel.
Right. That makes me curious to know if like I can find patches of like weed for Snake to smoke. Just be like, yo, man,
You guys
I'm
see?
seeing some.
Oh, hey, you guys seen Game Theory's topic on Snake and the Phantom Cigar?
Yeah, yeah, how it contains medicinal marijuana.
So Snake is a stoner confirmed.
Well, it doesn't help the fact that in 3 he's always like talking about the things that he's eating, you know? And he's
Right.
always mentioning like, "Hey, can I eat this?" Or always asking,
How does it taste?
"How does it taste?"
So what play styles is this one right here? Scouting or just?
Yeah, this part is scouting. The way that it finishes at night because of the time of the day he's tackling this mission here. Now this next part that's coming up kind of pisses me off because of he's saying he's trying to go get a clear shot, and yet he goes in an area that doesn't provide him that clear shot.
Incompetence at its best.
But I think that's just part of the reason why he wanted to show off this new bionic arm, which I'm definitely taking with me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. screw the shock arm. This new bionic arm is cooler.
And I think about why don't you want to have this bionic arm? The same thing, be the strongest thing you have for close quarters combat.
Wait till you see this bionic arm. Not a clear shot though.
Screw up. Oh, you DSP. That's far from a clear shot.
Yeah. I think he also mentions that I don't know if windage is a thing in this game, but I know bullet drop is, and enemy movement is a big thing. So you got to take that into effect when you're shooting from a distance and at a moving target.
All right.
I would try that. I would try to get that shot.
It'd be a really
I don't
good
know about you guys.
shot to get that. Really,
Yeah.
really good shot.
Is the sniper silenced?
Yeah, the sniper is silenced.
Okay, yeah, go for it then.
And it's upgraded, so a lot of the firepower, the range, the scope on that is better.
Quit scoping.
I never got a chance to make a highlight out of that quick scope that I did in Ground Zeroes. The one where I was trying. Yeah. This part right here, the Japanese version is like really funny because this right when he shoots his hand.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Rocket 2 punch. That's how it goes, and it's the greatest thing ever.
Knocked his ass out.
Why would you need any other arm than that?
Exactly. And I really encourage any of you who are watching this right now, and also you guys who are in the chat here with me, to watch the Japanese version of this demo. It's great.
Okay, ever see arm flying around? I'll be freaked out a little bit.
Yeah. That one guy just was like, yeah, arm flying around, whatever.
Wow, best stealth assassination ever. With a rocket hand.
This part right here is probably my favorite demo. Just because they harken back to Solid Snake.
You're talking about the suit?
Not the sneaking suit, but the sneaking suit with the bandana, basically.
Ah,
I think the bandana even covers most of the horn.
good. Okay, it looks terrible.
I don't mind the horn. I think it looks kind of cool, especially when it starts
Yeah.
like protruding out, like and looking more like a horn rather than debris. I don't believe this is in free roam mode, but if it is, it's always nice to see that kind of stuff. Or I would probably prefer doing it in free roam mode.
Not gonna lie, the scenery looks pretty nice
Yeah,
for much as sand.
I really want to see snow location. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before, but I really do want to see that in this
Yeah,
game.
that's true. I would see a snow location myself. Well, we already seen a jungle, so why not?
Yeah.
They're really speeding things up with this demo, aren't they?
Yeah, I know they've done that before. I think they just do it just because of time constraints they have with their scheduling.
I'm digging this suit though.
Yeah. I don't know if I would take it out in this specific area just because, it doesn't blend in with the environment.
Box lighting, that's new.
Yeah.
Anything, it looks more appropriate for a snow location or a jungle.
I would say the snow location would be a little bit more appropriate for this specific sneaking suit. Same with the one from Ground Zeroes, which you can also get as a free costume for transferring over Ground Zeroes save data, along with other things. But you all can look that up on the official Metal Gear site.
Wait, that's a Fulton or a bomb?
That was C4, yeah. I'm kind of mad what he does with this specific guard because this specific guard is like super OP when you look at his stats. And it's like, why wouldn't you
Wait,
take someone as OP as him?
yeah, demonstration purposes. But yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if those Fulton launchers will come back.
I hope
The
so, dude.
rocket.
I love that launcher in Peace Walker. You want Max? Just take a Fulton launcher.
That would definitely be a powerful rocket.
Same with this one. This one has some pretty good stats. and he just leaves him behind. That OP ass soldier, he just leaves him behind.
Sounds
Like
something
why?
DSP would do.
Huh?
That sounds something DSP would do.
Definitely. All right, so that was the end of this video. They show off like the pre-order editions that you can get and whatnot. But any thoughts from you, Brandon, or James and Kevin and Nathan? Since I've already seen this demo.
Not really. Nothing new or something that stands out was in this demo. But it's a pretty good demonstration on some of the things they show for alternate routes, especially for the new players or people who are going guns blazing.
Right.
My thoughts, the dem graphics, yo.
Exactly.
Them graphics. Yeah, the Fox engine looks really good.
It would look great for Silent Hills, but nope.
Yeah. I think Unreal 4 looks almost not exactly as good, but almost as good as the Fox engine.
Or the graphic capability, I say so. Like the art style for Unreal can be really, really impressive.
Yeah. And how about James and Kevin? What were your thoughts?
Rocket the Puncher.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Right.
No,
That's literally how he says it in the Japanese version. I fucking love Akio Otsuka. He's just a big goofball.
Rocket the punch.
All right. Unless if you guys have anything else to say, last minute regards on this specific game, we can move on to Alison Road.
I got nothing. I'm good now.
Bring on Alison.
All right. So I'm just gonna let this play in the background, but if you all want to stop it at any point, we can just talk about Silent Hills and where this kind of comes into play.
All right. By the way, can the audience actually hear me? Do I have to press the green button for the audience to hear?
They can hear you right now.
All right. So what is the push to talk thing for?
It's for this
Push to
YouTube
talk
app.
is so that you can unmute yourself when you're watching the YouTube app.
All right.
So every time we hit play, yeah.
Personally,
It's a bit weird, but
Yeah, that's YouTube for you, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've already watched this entire thing like a week or so ago.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah. So like I said, what were you saying, Kevin?
No, continue.
No, that's
Wait,
fine.
I remember
It's
this
fine.
now. Alpha Omega Sim made a video on this. That's how I found out about this Alison Road thing. Don't think I've seen the full demo, but I've seen enough of it. Probably. Or just a trailer.
I saw it at Angry Joe's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for any of you that haven't seen it, we're just gonna play it in the background. But my impressions was I like it. Silent Hills. I'm scared to play it, and I still have it on my hard drive.
No, you should stream that.
And I get yeah, I get that same impression with this game. This game is something that might, scare me. My only complaint about this is that I hope it's not entirely in first person. I didn't like that about PT, and I don't really like that about this game.
The upside too on PT is the full game Silent Hills wasn't going to be in first person. It was going to be in traditional Silent Hill playstyle.
Right.
Third person.
Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of worried about it with this specific game because it's not Silent Hills. It's not what Kojima was going to do with it, but
It's a shame that Silent Hills was just wasted. It could have brought in Konami a lot of money. You could bring back Silent Hill fans and restore the Silent Hill franchise back to its glory days.
Nate, you want to share your impressions on this demo since you've already seen it before?
Oh yeah, I thought that Now, this is, I believe, the Unreal 4 engine, right?
Correct.
I remember a lot of people were very impressed that it actually looks about as good as the engine they use for Silent Hills.
Yeah, the Fox engine.
Yeah, almost as good.
The one flaw I remember,
PS3.
the developer, he has a Facebook page for this game, and he was talking about how with the one zombie girl, he was having some issue with the strands of hair where he was trying to make it like each strand like a series of like threads with like a transparent background, but it wouldn't render the alpha channel properly, so we had to have just like these thick solid threads, and it looked just like a bunch of spaghetti on her head essentially. And he could have made more threads, but he said it would just like cause the game to lag or something. So that is the one downfall of this, is that the hair's gonna look kind of cheesy.
Curse
So
hair visits.
Yeah. Well, this is well, this is pre-alpha, so that's kind of understandable why it would have a bit of frame rate drops. I think I even mentioned that when we were talking about this a little bit on the way to Chicago when you and me were there, Nate.
Another concern I have about this game is that from what I've seen on the developer's Facebook page, it seems like this house is pretty much all there is. So I'm not sure how much they could actually fit into this one house as far as gameplay goes. I hope that maybe you can, like, I don't know, go over the fence and go to different locations. And I'm not really sure how long this game would actually be in the final version.
That would be pretty boring. It would just only be in a house.
Okay, that's interesting.
Unless the house just changes every single time.
Yeah,
you
that's interesting.
Task.
What now?
Yeah, like that's interesting because that's the first time I've heard about that. I'm sorry.
The first time you've heard about what?
That it's only taking place in this specific house. Because as far as I'm aware, Silent Hills was going to take place in Silent Hill, or the new town would be Silent Hills. It was playing on the concept of
More
an
than one
alternate
Silent
town. Yeah, which is true. I mean, there are some places with the same town name or whatever in different locations.
Just different variants, like
so
the whole town's different.
Yeah, and it was playing off of the concept of alternate realities, and which was interesting. So I don't know how, if this game could really pull off sticking in the same location. Maybe it could. It's possible, but I think it would be in the developer's best interest to kind of expand and try to do what Silent Hills was going to go for.
Because I think he's been working on this game for like the past year or so, and it seems like pretty much this house in the backyard section is always made. So if this is like the only location in the entire game, it's going to be kind of, I don't know, lacking.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like you mentioned, like, what if you can jump over this fence here, or maybe, like, there's a house right back there across the yard. What if you can go into that? I think that would be a lot better if you can go through house to house, maybe. If you can't go through an entire town, at least house to house would make a lot more sense.
I think Brandon wanted to say something.
I was about to say something about Silent Hills. It got me thinking, would it be taking place in all the different Silent Hill and in the series, like from the first one, second one, Homecoming, Downpour? Would it be like that, or something completely different from that?
As far as I'm aware from the information that was given and what Silent Hill fans were speculating about was that it's basically an alternate universe within the Silent Hill franchise where this is another Silent Hill, or Silent Hills in this case, and that the other Silent Hill is fucked up, but like this Silent Hills is just as fucked up as that other one, and it takes place in an alternate universe in a sense, or there's like alternate versions of the same characters. Like we don't know if the main character was supposed to be Harry Mason or not. He could have been the new Harry Mason, but we don't know.
Can it be a good Silent Hill for once?
Yeah.
No horror, no buy.
What was that?
Yeah,
I'm saying if it's not a horror game, no one wants to buy that.
yeah. This part was creepy, where you can hear like some dude whispering, like "I can see you" or some shit like that. That was legitimately creepy.
Hmm. I wonder if there's more ghosts in this house than just the little girl, because like when the girl comes out, she has like a very like screechy, high pitched voice, but like that voice sounded pretty deep, so I'm guessing maybe other monsters that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Someone's a Christian.
I hear a dog barking. Is that in the game or somebody's?
No, that's
Probably
my dog.
dog.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
okay.
My dog is kind of yeah. You know, yeah. You already know how my dog is.
Whenever I come over, she's always yapping.
Yeah.
What is he examining?
Medicines, because the character wakes up with a hangover.
Hangover medicine.
Or at least that's what everyone's saying. And I think Alpha Omega Sin started the joke, though, that he was waking up from a hangover.
The design of this house is so eerie. I've never seen a house ever with a layout just like this one. Like, for example, in the bedroom, did you see how high the freaking closets are? It's like 2 people high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty tall.
I think that's a chandelier up on the ceiling, and that's what makes the light design kind of give off that like shadow effect, or the lighting in the room, that like shadow.
Hmm.
Um, I think that was done intentionally. Hold on.
Well, then again, I think this game was made by a guy from Europe. I'm not sure what country, but maybe that's why the architecture looks a bit different to me.
Yeah,
It does
that's
look
potential.
pretty strange. There's nothing like your typical high-class house, that's for sure. It looks pretty small in comparisons to other houses I've seen.
Like a townhouse or
Very
something like
close
that.
quarters.
Yeah.
But like, I don't mind the design. Like, it looks interesting. It looks something like you'd see in a survival horror, very claustrophobic, very tight environment. But I'm just hoping that like maybe the environment changes as you progress through the game, because going through the same hall and the same like 4 or 5 rooms in the same, the house would be really redundant and kind of boring.
At least with Silent Hill, the PT demo, it mixed it up a bit, keep it more fresh and interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same hallway every loop or whatever, but it would change in some cases. Like maybe sometimes you would speed up, and in other cases you might see the
Red
mother that
hallway.
was killed. Yeah.
What was that?
This part nearly made me shit myself. Not, the part that's coming up. I don't know if James, if you saw this, or Kevin, if you've seen this yet.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you did say yeah, yeah.
Sin
I
and
would have been like, nope, like
yeah.
fuck no, I'm staying up in this bathroom.
I'm busy.
I'm taking a dump, right?
Dumbo Death.
Like what the? Yeah, yeah. He's got some like weird chick come up to him. He
Oh,
runs over
jeez.
here, and she comes up in the same room, but she doesn't kill him. Like.
Okay, it's getting kind of creepy. That was me.
Yeah, the music is good. I like it.
I'm serious though. That was me. I'll be like, nope, you get out. Just no. Can't pay me enough to sit in here.
I wonder if he composed this music himself or if he got it from some website.
Like royalty-free music.
Yeah. Who knows? But it is very eerie.
Yeah. something that I liked about this, I don't know if I mentioned this, is that like in the original Silent Hill games, when you went into the other world, the location would get dark. And I like how with this game, immediately when things go to hell, it gets dark, you know. So I'm glad that they retain that part of Silent Hill.
And whoever made this did a good job with recreating Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, they did a great job.
Oh, you know what this remind me of? There's a game called The Calling. I was watching the Brotherhood Gaming
Here it is.
playing it a couple of years back.
Mhm.
And there's a scene where a bunch of hair from the Japanese doll start coming down from walls like this.
Shit.
Yeah, I like the first time I saw this, I was in Michigan and it was at night and you know, I was sleeping in the car. It didn't help that a forest was right next to me. So, you know, I'm just like, oh shit, something might come up out of the forest.
I know, like, that did look creepy.
You know, but yeah, so that was Alison Road. You know, as I mentioned before, my only complaint with that specific game was that it's all in first person, and I hope that the full version isn't. And you know, I know that Nate mentioned the, you know, it only taking place in the house. I hope that if at least if it's taking place in the same house, that it drastically changes over time.
Now, what's the reason why you don't like the first person perspective?
Well, for one thing is that when we're talking about Silent Hill, Silent Hill games have always been a fixed camera perspective that would follow you around in a sense. You can kind of move it around a bit. It was at the time it was a little bit more cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I think Silent Hill 4 was the first one to introduce the first person perspective in some stages, but I haven't played that one in particular. But that being said, like if it were to be a mix of the two, I'd be totally fine with that. Like Silent Hill 4, I would be fine with that. If it's primarily first person, I feel like it's going more of the same route as every other indie horror game, where hey, it's a first person game. It's almost like a Slender, you know, or what was the other one in the Asylum? Trying to think of the name. Outlast. You know, hey, this is another
That was a
Outlast.
really good one.
Oh yeah, well,
one.
Outlast and the Slenderman games. So I mean, those were pretty different. I mean, you can actually fight people and like run around and shit in
Yeah.
Outlast. There's tons of different bosses to go against, but the Slender game was a lot shorter, and you can only walk the entire time.
Wait, you can fight people in
Yeah.
Outlast? God, I remember doing that.
No, Outlast wasn't fighting, just running.
Wait, there was another game that was kind of similar to Outlast. Trying to think of the name of the game, and it's like taking place in like olden times or something like that, but I forget the name of it. Somebody mentioned
Amnesia?
it.
Amnesia?
Yeah, Amnesia. Yeah, Amnesia. That's the one I was thinking of. You know, there's also that. So I mean, that's why I personally don't care for the first person view in survival horror games. But you know, that's a whole nother topic to get into.
Yeah, horror games are now first person because they see it as a sign of more immersion.
Yeah.
That's why most of the games, horror games especially, are in first person.
I mean, you know, like I'm not saying don't make first-person survival horror games, not at all. I just think that it's like this
Yeah.
like big trend that isn't really something that's up my alley per se.
I got the impression that this game was just trying to strictly be a remake or inspired by the PT demo, so I didn't think it was trying to be like Silent Hills like the rest of
Like
the
a spiritual successor.
Yeah, if that's the case, then it would include the fixed camera angles, you know, that Silent Hills was going to have before it got canceled.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. So, you know, any last thoughts on Silent Hills before we move on to the Husher Mansion?
Yes, screw you, Konami.
Damn it, I was going to say that.
You gotta jump in on this, James. Gotta be faster. But yeah, is that all, or can we move on?
Well, I hope this
everyone's good?
game does well. That's for sure, because it looks interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely need to see more.
I got nothing else. I'm good.
That's all I have to say.
Kevin, I know you were trying to say something. I'm sorry to cut you off. I always feel like I cut you off. I don't mean to
No,
do that.
I didn't say nothing.
Kevin, why you be so passive, senpai?
Because these are not my type of games.
Oh, they're not?
No, I'm not into stealth and horror.
Oh,
I
okay.
like watching. I like watching them or other people play, but I'm not
Blame on
into it.
yourself. You be panicking.
Yeah, I'm kind of a freaky person.
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's kind of
just-
understandable.
I just get too much into the game and scare myself.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of do that myself, especially when playing like some of the older Resident Evil games. You think like you look at somebody play those classic games, and you're thinking, oh, that's not scary at all. But then when you're playing it, you're all alone. You get like a surround sound headset or just headphones on or something, and you're playing and you're really focused on the game. Just a little jump scare back in the '90s will scare you. It doesn't matter if it's old gen
Yo,
hardware.
That happened to me with Resident Evil 2 for Leon's story with Mr. X. He came out of nowhere and busted a hole in the wall. I'm sure, and I know you guys know what part that is, right? Where
Yeah.
Leon had to light those things to get a clock piece. Yeah, after that, Mr. X is busted through the wall, and I paused the game and I freaked out.
Yeah, I played Resident Evil 3, and man, oh man, I almost pissed my pants in my cousin's home. That
Yeah,
day.
Nemesis, he's the biggest troll ever.
I'm actually playing through that game right now. Not on live on this live stream, but I am playing through it. All right. So the Husher Mansion. This was actually shown to me by one of my subscribers. I didn't really care for it too much. It looks interesting, but I just didn't see anything that says, "Oh, hey, I gotta play that," or "I gotta see more." It's an interesting game for sure. So I would say, if you are interested in this game, or if there's something that looks interesting, keep an eye out on it. But for me right now, personally, it's not really up my alley. But anyways. Let's begin the Husher Mansion.
This is more of a mystery-based game.
Yeah, mystery, survival horror-based game. More paranormal, actually. And so they're just showing off the different characters. I think that each save file has or each time you play through this game, if a certain character dies, they're permanently dead. So if one character dies in Chapter 1, then they are dead for the rest of the game.
Like an actual RPG.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
No plot armor.
Best type of armor of them all, the plot armor.
So, Nate, you were asking me about why I prefer the fixed camera angle style over the first-person one, and I mentioned how Silent Hill had, or at least previous iterations had this fixed camera angle that would follow you. This game has a similar camera angle style, almost. It's not exactly the same, but it's close enough.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of fixed camera angles. I've always kind of preferred either first person or one that follows you around, like in GTA or something.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not a big fan of fixed cameras. To me, they feel just like an inferior experience.
I understand that complaint. Not everyone's into that perspective. In some cases, if at least the camera moves in that fixed position, it might be a little bit better. I know the Onimusha series kind of dabbled in that. Resident Evil Code Veronica did that. They even went back and did that for the HD remaster and are doing that for Resident Evil 0 HD, which we'll talk about afterwards.
DMC was too, with fixed cameras.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I kind of like that style in DMC games because I don't have to worry like in DMC that I have to turn camera every second I need to look at the enemy.
yeah.
It kind of helped with focusing on more on the combos than the camera.
Yeah, and yeah, so like in some cases like that, it makes sense to have a fixed camera angle.
Yeah. If
Okay,
it
not
fits the
gonna
game,
lie.
it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. Not gonna lie, this game doesn't scream anything interesting so far.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was just like, it's
It looks good though, I'll tell you that.
graphically, yeah, it looks good. It seems like whoever was developing this game, they have everything kind of set down, but they don't really know what to do with it, That's the impression that I get.
The pacing needs to be a little bit more for a mystery horror game. No, you gotta keep that tension up if you want the people to continue playing it.
One of the biggest complaints people had was the text just kind of scrolling out like that every time the player clicks on something. And I also agree with that. I think it's kind of annoying to see. Why can't the entire thing just show up?
Yeah, I agree. It does look annoying. Like a typewriter or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you guys heard of a game called Gone Home?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think I've ever watched gameplay for it, but I've heard about it.
I seen
What is it called?
Gone
Gone
Home.
Home.
Yeah, I think so.
I seen a This Is How You Don't Play of it, and this game is slowly reminding me of that.
I heard it had very mixed reviews from people.
Yeah, I could tell you personally though, it's misleading. It's not what it seems to be. All this, let me just tell you what it is.
Yeah,
Or
go ahead.
it's really about this girl who's looking for a sister, and the sister is turned out to be a lesbian that ran out with her girlfriend, and the whole atmosphere though, and it seems like it's a horror game, but it really is not. It's just you searching through the house to find items to go to this thing here. You must find a way into the attic. Say just find a way to break it. You just must go through this task to find all these puzzles and whatnot to just get to the attic. Turn around and find our journal. So instead, it seemed like a paranormal horror game. It's just you searching for everything. So that's one of the main reasons why it's a mixed reception game. It's just one big misleading title.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why, sure.
There's an aspect of this game, and you'll see it later. It really reminds me of The Evil Within. You know how Reborn Laura can pull you down into like different places with her arms?
What?
You know how Laura can pull you down in The Evil Within? She can pull you down with like her arms or whatever. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
see this? Like that's what it reminds me of, and like it's like
That looks creepy though.
Yeah, it looks creepy, but it's like, are they trying to play off of the success of other survival horror games, or is it just kind of a game that's having an identity crisis basically and just doesn't know what it wants to do with itself?
That's a good question. What is it trying to do? Are they doing like that game Sony's gonna release soon? I forgot what it's called.
Oh, Deep
Yeah,
no. Until Dawn. Until
yeah,
Dawn.
that one.
Dawn. Yeah. I was gonna say Deep Down. Deep Down is a Capcom title that has very little information on it so far, as I'm aware.
I forgot that game existed.
Yeah. It's probably still in development because they're using their new engine, but you know. Yeah, you know. So I mean, I've seen this, and it's like I said before, it's not. It has the potential to be good, like it could be a good game, and the gameplay that's been shown off, like what I'm showing you here, um, is bad, and it's boring and pre-alpha or whatever, that's always a possibility. But from what I've seen, I don't think I'm gonna be jumping on this and being like, oh hey, I'm gonna buy this day one.
Yeah, it doesn't scream anything interesting so far.
And some people might argue, well, why would you say that when you were, jumping into Road Fever and IOU, and in the case of IOU, you haven't even seen gameplay; you've only seen screenshots. Whereas Road Fever, you've only seen like early alpha footage, like pre-alpha footage. So, and the only reason why I'm more excited about those is because those are supposed to feel like Resident Evil games, and those are trying to take at aspects that maybe weren't explored or experimented with in that franchise, but at the same time doing something different.
And this game could be like another Calling. You guys should look that game up. It's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, it was like it's a Japanese game that is paranormal.
Is it kind of like what's the name of the game? Trying to think. Siren?
In
Not
a way,
not the
I would say,
PS3 version, the PS2 version.
in a way, I would say yes. Have you guys seen the movie One Missed Call?
I know about it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh, if you've seen that though, just think about that, but more fleshed out in Japan.
Okay. If you guys want me to stop here, I can. I mean, there's really not much we can say other than it doesn't.
This game doesn't have really much of a personality.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned. I
Like
saw
every
this
other
and it's just
game.
like, meh.
It's like every other mystery horror game.
Oh, by the way, I actually searched up Resident Sleeper, and there's actually a video of a guy on Twitch falling asleep while playing
Yeah.
Resident
Oh
Evil.
yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Esteban, one of our friends on our Twitter message board, mentioned that he was watching that yesterday. All right, so we can stop this. We don't need to continue. I'm gonna stop the share play now.
Okay.
And so now I just want to move on to our last topic before it's pretty much fair game, and that is
I'll be right
Capcom
back.
doing. Oh, yep, sure thing. And that is Capcom doing DLC for Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster, a nearly 15-year-old game.
Yeah. Capcom is taking this too seriously. I
Yeah.
think that they're trying to become the new EA. of Japan?
No, I did a short video on this. I don't know if all of you have seen it. Talking about that specific DLC, that there's a contest going on for it, and how I personally think it's stupid. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I signed up for it because it's free DLC. I'm not gonna deny something that's free. Um, the reason why I don't personally like it is that it's not something that is cool in a sense. Like, why not have fans make an all-new costume rather than design a T-shirt? And the fact that it's DLC, considering that Resident Evil HD Remaster just came out last year, I think it was, or a few months ago, and last year if you got it in Japan, um, they came out with BSAA costumes which weren't in the original game. Already available from the start, day one, you didn't have to pay for it or anything. So I don't understand how it's good.
Hey, Dom, I was wondering, what do you think of the majority of the Capcom fan base? Think that for the most part they're gullible, or do they know that Capcom is screwing them over?
Well, there's us four right here.
But I mean like the majority of the fan base.
Yeah, they probably know.
It depends. I think if you talk to a lot of older fans, they're really disappointed in Capcom, and it's not that they don't want to see Capcom fail. They're really disappointed in what they're doing. Whereas a lot of these newer fans that are coming in, they might have came in from like playing games like Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 5 and various other titles like maybe Dragon's Dogma, a lot of Street Fighter and Street Fighter 4 and all 1 million of its iterations, and they're just so used to that version of Capcom that they can't comprehend what it's like when older fans, like myself and like Kevin, Brandon, and James, question their tactics.
All right, what I missed?
Oh, we were just talking about. Yeah. You didn't miss much. We were just talking about the DLC, and then Nate was asking how we felt about the majority of the Capcom fan base at its current state, at least.
Honestly, I say it's kind of divided. As far as mostly the Democrat fan base, Resident Evil, and others like Mega Man and Street Fighter. Especially for the Democrat fan base, it just completely split. Thanks to the Ninja Theory game, now you just have this constant fighting on over which one is better, DMC or the original series, which is the obvious answer. And then with Resident Evil, you always have the classics versus the newer ones, this constant battle between the two.
Yeah, so, which is ironic you bring that up because James and Dagger were getting into it last night.
Oh yeah,
really?
me and Dagger had like a whole debate about it.
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was kind of neutral on it because I'm just like, I like both. I've always said that I like both, but if I had to pick, I wouldn't really be mad about it. I would pick one or the other. I'm indifferent about it as long as it plays like a survival horror game. I'm totally fine with that.
Well, my take on Resident Evil is, I long to play like Resident Evil Revelations 1. I'm all good for it, because that game right there is in my opinion, the perfect mixture of the classic and the new.
I would say 2 is better. It refines it a lot more.
In some areas, yes. Other areas, no. Especially the story. The story could have been a lot better, in my opinion.
It's just kind of to go back on topic with the whole Capcom DLC thing. I mentioned earlier before you got in here, Nate, and before we even went live, I mentioned that Capcom did DLC for Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. The reason why I personally don't mind it so much as I do with Resident Evil 0 HD Remaster is because that game isn't as old as Resident Evil 0. Whereas like Devil May Cry is an 8-year-old game, whereas Resident Evil 0 is a nearly 15-year-old game.
Now, my take on Devil May Cry DLC is, as far as the Time Saver DLC goes, for the super characters, for the blue orbs, for the red orbs, I don't mind that, especially since if you already done it with the original, like number of times how many you did it. Like for me, example, I did it up to 5 times because I had different saves and various systems like Xbox and PS3. So me personally, I probably won't feel like doing it again. So this opportunity for me to get everything early. Now, the thing I don't like is the Lady and Trish costumes. The reason
Yeah, the
being,
pre-order.
there's like nothing to unlock for Lady and Trish. They have no super costume. The only thing they have is the EX. After that, there's nothing worth unlocking for them.
Yeah.
Cause you,
Have no supers. I don't see, especially for Trish. Trish is a demon. So why does she have a super?
exactly.
Yeah, I mean that kind of goes. That's kind of the same thing with the other 3 characters. Why don't they have more costumes? But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. That's as far. I mean, that's as far as we can talk about it in terms of Capcom doing DLC. We can transition now. I don't think there's much we can say on it, but I did want to bring it up for a little bit, just because I did mention it in the last video, but I didn't really elaborate on certain aspects of it. So
Well, me
And now
personally
it's fair
though,
game.
I don't think they should. Oh.
I'm sorry.
I don't think they should DLC an old game regardless, unless it's
Yeah,
for time-saving purposes.
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I think you were gone when I said this. Capcom did it right with Resident Evil HD Remaster, where they put in new content and it was there from the start. That was a good thing. That's what they should be doing to their HD remasters, not DLC.
If anything, that would turn people away from buying it. Because I already seen some people saying the same thing from Devil May Cry 4. I'm sure it's a good game, but I don't want to go to it because of DLC. Now, of course, I did went on my way to explain what some of the DLC was, but no, in the day, it's up to them whether they want to buy it or not.
Yeah, all right. We can transition to just a general discussion if you want to bring up anything, Nate or Kevin or James or Brandon yourself.
I'm actually, because I'm interested in Alison Road, as you know. I went to the YouTube channel, and turns out that 2 days ago, the guy who's developing the game released a video where he's updating people on that. So would any of you be interested in watching that video?
Oh yeah, sure.
Sure.
Right here, I'll pass a link to it because Dom, you know how to do the whole YouTube video player thing.
Yep. What you got to do is hit the YouTube app on the side there.
Yeah, I have it open right now.
Okay.
Add videos to playlist.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna paste it in there right now. Pressing the search button.
Right.
Click on it.
And we'll...
Hi. Damn thing cut me off. You can turn it up a bit, or I could do it on. Never mind.
I'm guessing he's probably from Sweden because he sounds kind of like PewDiePie.
I would hope he doesn't sound like PewDiePie.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to pause it. That was kind of the same reasoning why I kind of got interested into game development. I mean, like I have the Unreal Engine downloaded on my computer. I just haven't done crap with it yet. But that being said, I see where he's coming from with that. Like, you play certain games or you see certain things that never got made, and you want to make them. So I get where he's coming from that perspective.
I'm guessing for Unreal, there's tons of tutorials online to learn how to use it properly, right?
Correct. They're not as extensive as classes, as far as I'm aware. But we live in a day and age where kind of going to classes for game development is a little bit irrelevant. And I'm not saying don't go to school because I'm saying that. I'm saying that in some cases, if you feel as though that being self-taught is better for you, then by all means go self-taught. And I mean, I'm sure there's indie devs that have haven't gone to a gaming development school or an art school to make their game.
So I do know that at my school there are different classes to actually learn how to use different game programs. I'm not sure if it's the Unreal Engine or some other program. But, I have seen people there's classes for that kind of stuff.
It might be possible. I mean, I was looking into the Art Institute of Chicago. I don't know if you know about that university.
I have heard before. I don't know much about it though.
As far as I'm aware, that university, I actually won't be going to it, which I gotta call them, by the way, but that's a whole other thing. I know they use Unity 5, they use Unreal 4, they use a few other engines to work with so that you can have familiarity with different engines, so that way you're not focused on one specific engine, or you're not used to one specific engine. So yeah, they can teach you in that regard. But here's the kicker. For a lot of people that don't know, and I didn't know this especially, you actually need an art portfolio before you can even get into a gaming development class. In that specific school. I'm not saying that's for all schools, but that is the case for the Art Institute.
Yeah, that sucks, but I guess I kind of want people that already have knowledge, so that way they know they're actually going to have dedication in the classroom.
Yeah, like in my case, I was just like, I don't know if I really want to sit here for 8 years when, I kind of know that people have done it already without art or without going to an art school. I'm not saying don't go. Like
it's an 8-year class.
4 years for you got to take a art design class or something like that for 4 years, and another 4 years for game design. You can't take an assignment.
Life wasted.
Basically, it's like 86. It's like the 4th most expensive school in the U.S. And yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, fucking financial aid will not cover that shit as much as you think it would. Anyways, let's get back to the Alison Road thing.
All right.
About Kevin, you're still muted.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. That's good.
What happened? I missed that.
He said. Oh, go ahead.
He said that the game is not going to be exclusively in the house, so I guess I'll have other areas to teleport to, where you'll just walk around different parts of the neighborhood or something. So that's really cool.
He did also mention that it's not open world, but I think what he means is don't expect Metal Gear Solid 5 open world. Just expect a small town or something like that, or a small neighborhood to go through.
Or a small Silent Hill.
Yeah, essentially a small town.
Oh. Shit, I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yes. That is technically true. I'm sorry, to pause it right here. That is true. To bring up that point, in the case of Unity 5, when I had that downloaded, it even asks if you're just doing this as a hobby, not necessarily or not necessarily for professional use. So you can download the Unreal 4 engine, make your own game if you really wanted to, and not share it with everyone. Though I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but there's that.
Huzzah. This is getting quite ridiculous having to turn the volume every single time.
This thing needs an update.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Ooh.
No Wii U, of course.
Oh lord.
Now, what the cube means exactly? Quarter, right?
Oh, nice. There's VR support. Oh.
Now,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
get the whole VR gimmick.
I remember seeing on their channel that did actually have a video of them using the virtual reality headset to play the game. It looks pretty cool.
That baby be scary too.
I love this guy already.
Wow, nothing scared by his grammar. Now, people are being too harsh on the guy.
There are some guys who were inspired and wanted to make their own kind of version of it.
I guess inspiring means being rip-offed.
What happened?
Oh, sorry, I mistakenly clicked it
Here,
after
let me
trying.
try to find back where we are at.
We were right here.
Oh wait, sorry, Dominic. Do that again.
Yeah, we were right here.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
What the fuck? I love this guy's sense of humor.
What?
I don't know what he means by Wookiee thing. It wasn't a Wookiee.
Apart from a Wookiee, it wasn't that hairy. And with this guy, I definitely followed him to the ends of the earth. That was an interesting video.
Sorry, my mic was muted. I was saying that yeah, he seems like a pretty chill dude, and I like his sense of humor when it came to the comments that he got.
The unfair criticism.
Yeah. You know, as far as that one, like as far as the things he was saying, I could kind of relate in a sense with why I wanted to at least try game development. For my reasoning was, you know, the things that Capcom was doing in terms of Resident Evil and turning it more into action based, but also taking some concepts that they never went with.
Yeah. No, I like to see what this guy has in mind as well for this game. He's doing the Silent Hill fans great justice, making his own successor or reimagine or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
With Alison Road.
Oh, Nate, I know you wanted to bring up what happened at Taste or over at Chicago.
Oh yeah, well, basically, me and Dominic were just leaving the Field Museum because we went there for like, I don't know, an hour or two just to...
I think we were there for 3 hours to be exact.
Oh, really? That long?
3
Yeah.
hours, yeah, because we got there at like 1:20 or 1:30 or something like that. We were originally going to go to the Shed Aquarium there.
But it was way too fucking expensive. The Shed Aquarium, I believe...
Long ass line and expensive ass, you know, prices. This is like $54 per person.
I think it was like
Yeah,
50,
wow,
53,
that's
54
expensive.
per person. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a ripoff.
You know, we went to the Field Museum. That was like $20 per person. I guess, you know, I looked young enough to be a student because, you know, most people tell me I look 3 years younger than what I really am. You know, the people that don't know me, but so I guess that's how we got away with paying 18 rather than 31, but 31 was still a little bit more reasonable. But yeah, we were there for like 3 hours. Some random dude just comes up out of nowhere and he's like, "Hey, dude," or no, he wasn't like, "Hey, dude," but he's like, "Hold up." I'm like, "Dude, I don't got time for this. Let's go. I don't got time for this." You know, takes all of our like he didn't take much, but you know he takes $2 from me and Nate, and takes like $7 from his brother and $5 from me, or I mean not from me, from my brother.
Yeah,
But
that was
on
basically it. Like, yeah, and it turned out we actually bought like some gay newspaper. It was literally a gay newspaper.
Yeah, we basically got played. But luckily, yeah, you know, if it was more than $2, I would have went back, and I'm still. If I ever see that fucker, I'm gonna kick his ass, though.
I just hope that it was genuinely for the homeless, because if that was just like some guy trying to make some easy cash, and fuck him.
Selling gay magazines or newspapers.
Yeah, because
That's
what
the
happened?
first.
Because it looked like a typical magazine when I first had it, and I was reading through it, and the first article on there was about some local LGBT group in Chicago was, I guess, disbanding. And I was like, okay, whatever. I guess it's like a hot topic in Chicago. And then I kept reading through it, and there's like more LGBT stuff, and I have no issue with that. I'm just saying I thought it was kind of weird how that was all the articles were about. So I was like, I know that gay marriage was just made legal in America, but it's kind of extreme to have like 3 or 4 articles as being all you talk about in this magazine, and then newspaper. So then after that, I kept skimming through it more and more, and then in the back they had like images of like half-naked men posing. I was like, what kind of paper is this? And then I read the front of it. And it was called, I think, the Windy City Times or something.
Wait, what?
I think the paper was called the Windy City Times or something like that. So and then it said below that the logo, your local gay newspaper or something like that. It's like, oh, well, that explains it.
One of those
Just like, well, this is awkward.
Oh, did you take a listen to that religious CD that you got? Because I think that was from like that religious group that always comes down there around that same time every year. Trying to convert people to I don't know what religion that would be
Well,
that they were
I
part
believe
of.
I'm gonna look on this. I've it right next to me actually. They are the Sharon Mennonite Church, and the Mennonites are kind of like the Amish, but they're a little bit different. So I guess they're kind of they have similar belief systems, but they have a couple little variations here and there. And yeah, it's a little disc with 13 different songs on it. They all sound awful. And the paper is just like trying to convince you to join their church and all these different lyrics for the songs, I guess. But yeah, I just found it like on a window still, so I picked it up. I was like, hey, yeah, free souvenir.
Maybe they were called like Mennonite.
Yeah,
We're not
Mennonite.
talking like the Smash
Here,
Brothers character, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
it's Mennonite.
Okay, I was gonna say, I thought you said Mennonite. I was like, what?
No.
I'm thinking about Kirby. What happened here?
I was so pissed off after the fact from what happened prior, because they were like standing by the train station. It was the not the LaSalle station, the I always forget the name of that train station. But anyways, yeah, they're standing right up front there, and I was already pissed off because we had some dude just take like whatever little change that we had. Luckily, he didn't take my $20 that I had on me, but whatever. I was already pissed, but then you got these like little like kids coming up to me, and that kind of pissed me off even a little bit more because they were using kids to kind of sell their religion to me and Nate and all the people that were with us.
Yeah.
So.
So-
and I
You were actually telling them to fuck off, right?
yeah, I was telling them to piss off. I was like,
Oh.
every person that came up to me, I was like, piss off, because like, here's the thing, I don't care if people are religious. Be religious all you want. I mean, I would have more respect for somebody who believes in a god but not associated with a religion. And that being said, if you do, fine, whatever. I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But when it gets to the point where you try to force down your religion down other people's throat, that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, it's like marriage but worse. What was that?
I mean,
Sorry, that's my phone.
yeah, you're doing this hangout on your phone, right?
Yeah, that might be why you keep hearing that.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me try and turn those off, because those are going to piss people off. Hang on.
But it's kind of to go off topic from gaming to religion and whatnot. I'm like I said, I'm not going to stop anybody from believing in a god. It's just the fact that shoving it in my face, trying to force me to join your
Cult.
or not necessarily force me, but trying to persuade me to do so, and then using children to do that's just sickening to me.
Yeah, children are like the best scapegoat for like pushing you to buy something or to join something or sign up for something, like all that stuff. It's just
The
kind of
only time
ridiculous.
religion come up to me and ask me to join was, I think, Jehovah's Witness, probably.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses, they always go up to neighborhoods and try to get people to convert. Yeah, this is went from gaming to religion.
What's wrong? It was
I don't
really-
care. I mean, I did say this was fair game, so I don't really care. It gives us something to talk about.
Well, who
way
said
they
that?
did it
But
was like,
that brings up a funny story that I have. Your mic is kind of getting muffled on your phone.
is it still bad?
It's kind of popping in and out.
God damn it.
Like now.
How about now?
Yeah, it sounds like
Okay, now
normal.
it's fine. Yep, now it's fine.
I was gonna say the
Um,
way they asked me is like really awkward. I don't remember what I drove. As soon as I got out of the car, two ladies walked up to me and they're like, "You're beautiful." I'm like,
Okay.
you?
all right, right. I think you told me that story.
And it was even more awkward for me because I'm an atheist, so it's like, well, shit, I don't know what to tell them. I don't want to be rude. I don't follow anything.
I'm an
It
atheist
was
too. It's
just
okay.
people look at me randomly like that. It's very weird as fuck. And then throw a random compliment at me that's kind of meant for a girl. I don't know. I was like, all right, maybe it's the hair.
Always the hair.
Maybe
Stick the
it's
hair.
Maybelline.
I don't know. Maybe I look Bishonen to them. Who knows?
Kawaii James.
They worship James as a god?
I wish I had the balls to make fun in front of
James-
the face. I
I don't. Yeah, I think I've shared this story with you, James, but I don't know if I shared this story with anybody else or even live. I had this one time. I woke up. I was like, getting up from like going to sleep at like 3 in the morning. I really didn't want to get up, but I did because I heard the doorbell. Because I thought, oh, it might have been my stepbrother or it might have been my mom, and something's wrong with the garage because our garage door is kind of messed up. But I'm coming downstairs. And there's this guy in a suit. I open up the door, and the
A
next
suit at
thing
3
I
in the
know,
morning?
no. I went to sleep at 3 in the morning. I got up. It's like
Oh.
noon. Sorry, I should have included that detail. So that's my fault for not iterating that or whatever. But yeah, as I was saying, the guy dressed in a suit. He's got his kids. They got like sweater vests on or something like that. And he tried to. What sickens me the most about this guy is that he tried to use his. Again, this is another situation where they try to use kids to try to get me to convert. But he, this was his own. These were his own kids. It wasn't like somebody else was using somebody else's kids. These were his own kids, and he tried to use them just to get me to convert.
He wins the free
pressure
cup.
by children.
Yeah. I mean, like, what, I don't want to say anything because, his two kids are there, but, I mean, best case scenario, I would have said, because I didn't say anything, I just said, I'm not interested, and that's all I said. But, best case scenario would have been that, or at least what I should have said was, you're using your kids to solicit your religion to me, essentially. Not only that, but you also assume that I want to convert from atheism to your belief system.
Right. Did he tell you the details for his religion?
I don't remember if he did. I think he was getting into it, but I was too disorientated because I literally was in my boxers and a t-shirt when I came down there. So my hairy ass legs, those kids were probably fearful. They saw my hairy ass legs like, oh my
Oh
god,
my
some
God.
hairy ass legs.
The Bigfoot.
I actually have big feet too, so it really does apply to me.
I watched this armor skeptic guy. He debunks those theist theories.
Okay, yeah, I think I've.
He's
I've heard
really
from
fun.
Skeptic.
He's really fun to watch.
Mhm.
But more fun because the people that say those theist things are more stupid. They are the most fun about.
Yeah.
Wait, who said that?
Just it's armor skeptic. He is he does videos about debunking theories or things people who believe in religion say. He makes fun of them.
Mhm.
But from what I've seen from his videos, I can't believe there are people that still are so focused on that religion. I don't know, just people can believe some crazy things sometimes.
Yeah, some people can be really gullible.
That actually kind of reminds me. One of my subscribers came to me, same subscriber that sent me the horror game, the Harrison Mansion or whatever it was called. Because he found out about Nate. He never watched any of Nate's videos, so he hadn't known what Nate does. And if you want to explain to the viewers here what you do, Nate, by all means, please cut me off then.
Yeah, sure. My YouTube channel, I'm not sure if I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, but my channel is NateTalksToYou, and I usually just talk about whatever topics are on my mind. You know, it's something that's happening in the media, I'll probably cover it. I have two popular series on my channel. One is called Christian Logic Fail, and one called Feminist Logic Fail.
Of
And I
course.
cover other topics here and there as well, but those are two series of mine that have gotten a lot of notoriety.
Yeah,
And
I've seen some of your videos. Yeah,
which
I've
ones?
about feminism and religion. I don't remember who were specifically.
Oh, Nate,
I've
when's your
seen
next
some.
reaction video?
Well, I'm actually in the process of working on a new Bible Black reaction. I have one more person that I recently messaged about coming on board. If you remember my Boku no Pico reaction videos, I had the one guy with
Yeah, I've seen that.
I had the one guy with the black rimmed glasses. He had all like the gaming stuff in his background. I recently contacted him, so I'm waiting on that guy to get me the clips for his reaction. Then I'll probably have it up very soon.
All right.
And besides that, I'm also working on a new feminist logic fail. I wanted to make one about false accusations of rape and stuff like that. But I had to finish the script before I do anything with it.
Mhm. That reminds me, since we were talking about the reaction videos, I know when you used to do the comment videos where you would just turn that into comedy videos, basically.
Yeah, you mean the dramatic readings?
Yeah. I don't know why I forgot that that's what they were called. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
But
it's kind of a lengthier name.
yeah, I remember you had Blackbuster Critic on. Any chances of seeing him come back for maybe like a reaction video or something like that?
Well, the thing is that I've kind of unofficially discontinued it. Like, I may make more dramatic readings in the future, but it's not really a series that I have much plans on really expanding at this point. Because I mean, the formula is pretty redundant. You know, you read a couple of different messages, they're kind of wacky. People read them in a funny voice. So I just think that at this point, the whole formula has just kind of gotten overused. And I know I did it for Gamergate because that was kind of a popular topic at the time, but I don't know if I will. And as for Blockbuster Critic ever coming back on, maybe. I mean, the reason I got him in that one video was because it was about Smosh, and Blockbuster Critic's kind of a person who's against e-bagging and stuff, so I figured he'd be fitting for that. But I don't really talk to him that often online, so who knows?
Okay. But yeah, it's kind of understandable why you would discontinue that. I mean, when you first started it, it was a great concept and worked really well for you and kind of put your channel out there. For sure. But it's understandable.
The thing is that like I think that for a good channel, you kind of have to move on and try new things. And if you're just sticking to the same formula and not expanding yourself, then it's kind of gonna die down eventually.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, Just kind of speaking from personal experience and how I've reworked my channel. I mean, obviously, recently I changed my username because I felt like that would be better in the long run. I just, I've always wanted to do it. I'd never had an idea for what the new name would be until I came up with the new one. But, I used to do walkthroughs, but I felt like that was kind of redundant. I see that a lot more people like the news videos more and the podcasts, so I'm kind of sticking with that right now and seeing how that goes out. And I also got a new series coming out, so.
You're improving.
Yeah.
Over the years I've been subscribed to you, you definitely changed a lot.
Myself or Nathan?
I thought about you and Dom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I still remember back when we used to do those Let's Plays of games like Resident Evil 4 with that really bad webcam.
Yeah, and then we went back and redid it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not like, and speaking of walkthroughs, since we're on the topic, and I will go back to the thing the reason why I brought you up and all that, but we'll go back to that soon. It's not that I don't want to do walkthroughs. I enjoy doing them. They're a lot of fun. The problem is that when you need a second person, it's a lot better to have a second person with you, but it's also good if you have someone who works well off of your commentary. Like Nate, you were pretty much perfect when it came to Resident Evil 4 when we did that together. When we redid that together not too long ago for the Evil Then.
I can still remember the first time we did it with the webcam, like in 2010, 2011. And I think that back then my humor was extremely forced. I wasn't funny at all and pretty obnoxious, honestly. But then again, I was like 15 or something, so that's expected. But I thought that it was a more chill environment. It was much more enjoyable the second time around.
Yeah, because I mean, I know you hadn't played it for years, but we kind of talked about some of the memories we had playing the game. We also made kind of jokes about certain things that were going on. And I also brought up some interesting topics that I knew, or interesting facts about the game that I knew personally, and we just kind of went over that stuff. But yeah, just kind of to take it back, because I did mention you and one of my subscribers. One of my subscribers actually saw your top 10 Quran verses and had mentioned that you apparently taken something out of context or something like that. I don't know the full details, but apparently your fan base was attacking him or something like that. Me personally, I just didn't really want to get involved with it, but I did say, I'm going to assume that whatever you said, it might have not been taken well because of the way that you might have worded it, or, whatever it was that you said it, They did say they wanted to direct message you, but, what would you want to say to them directly if you can? Nate?
Yeah?
Did you hear what I just said, or?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I was browsing Facebook shit. Can you repeat that last part?
Yeah, no problem. Just to kind of reiterate that whole thing, one of my subscribers, watched your top 10 controversial Quran verses video, and apparently, according to them at least, you took some things out of context.
That's definitely expected. Whenever I make a video on religion, the same thing happened with my Bible video. It's always going to be someone's going to say, "Oh, it's out of context," they're going to ask a little technicality. Oh, technically, this is what they actually meant. So that doesn't surprise me at all.
And apparently, your fan base started attacking him specifically after he, made a comment or something like that. I didn't really want to get involved in it because I say, whatever you said, it must have, been taken, or it must have been looked at in a way where it was, idiotic and I'm not trying to insult this subscriber. Like this subscriber has helped me grown in the past, and I thank them for that.
Can you put in the chat like the name of this person's YouTube channel so I can go search for them?
Yeah, no problem.
I could look for it if you want.
Okay.
Here you go. Not to mention names here on the podcast or anything, because I'm not, I don't hold anything against that person. Believe whatever you want to believe. The reason why I wanted to be as nice as possible because I don't want to seem like I'm being a total dick to any of my subscribers just because I disagree on an opinion or on a disbelief or belief or whatever. But when it comes to like religion in that sense, it's like things that were meant for something at one point in time may not be looked at the same way now. It may be looked at a completely different perspective or a more radical perspective in some cases.
Mm-hmm. But as for my fans apparently attacking this person, well, I mean, there's never been any point in time where I can recall ever encouraging my fans to do that. But that's kind of expected, Once you get a very big fan base on YouTube, you're always going to get a couple of people that get reactionary and they freak out easily and that kind of thing. There's really no way to control it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, that's kind of happens, You go in the lion's den, you may get eaten.
Yeah. And I mean, that's not to say, that what you were saying is wrong, or regardless if it's taken out of context or not, it should be still, looked at and debated on,
Mm-hmm. Because I even know that many different Muslim scholars, they have different interpretations of these verses. I know one Muslim that I'm actually friends with online, his interpretation is apparently very different than what some of these people that I was showing clips of interpreted as meaning.
Yeah. So like I said, it's better to just have a discussion on it rather than to just say, oh, you're taking this out of context, you're taking that out of context, and trying to say that whatever you're saying is wrong or just disregarding whatever you're saying, because that's, that'd be stupid,
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing about the internet is that a lot of people don't seem to be willing to have a civil discussion. A lot of people will just act on anger and they'll resort to name calling and just insulting, which is really unfortunate. Because I mean, if you look at my my comments in the comments section of my videos, other people's videos, I try to always just stay civil with people.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, in videos I may insult or I may have little jokes here and there, but that's for entertainment value. But in the actual comments section, I'll usually have a more mature way of handling things. But yeah, most people that I see online just don't really know how to do that. They just want to resort to name calling.
And that's the internet for you.
Pretty much.
Did you say something
else
James?
you wanted to add to that, or is that it?
No. If you want to move on to something else, we totally can. Or we can still talk about religion. I don't care. Whatever you want to talk about.
Well. First, is everybody in here an atheist, or does anybody in here have a religion?
I don't have a religion, but I do believe in God, if that makes sense, or if that flows well.
Well,
I don't have a religion.
I believe you'd be called a deist then. A deist is someone, who believes that that there is a God out there, but they're not associated with any group like Christians or Muslims or anything like that.
Like a lone wolf type?
I guess so. It's just like, I believe in a God, but there's no book to follow.
I follow my own type of rules and stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was theism, not deism.
Well, theism is a very broad term which can refer to anybody who believes in a God, but deism is someone who believes in a God, but they're not part of a religion.
So many technical words.
I don't know. Just that I research this stuff. I look into it a bit, so I pick up on these different terminologies and stuff.
Is retcon spelled with two N's or one N? Quick question, because
Retcon? What?
yeah,
Are you asking me, or is anybody in the chat?
anybody who knows, yeah. Just a quick question.
I don't know.
Single line.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Yeah, because somebody was saying on Twitter that implying that the anime and the novels for Devil May Cry aren't canon, but we've seen with DMC4 SE that parts of the novels were implemented into the canon and retconned in there.
That brings up a personally annoying subject. I'm sure you've heard the term "that's too anime" or "this too that," so to speak.
Yeah.
That term always pisses me off because it's not a real reason to say this is bad. Because you can't elaborate.
James, you cutting out a little bit. I can't really understand you.
Mike is super bad.
No, it's loud, then lowers down a little bit. It's all over the place.
How about now?
It's good.
You guys heard what I said before, though, right? With the what is it? Just in general, how it's not an excuse for why you don't like something because you can't elaborate on it.
I know. Can you repeat it?
Everything I just said. God damn it! Hang on. Can I put my mic into my phone? Because that'd be amazing.
That would be some shit right there.
Ugh.
But yeah, that's a very debatable term because I mentioned I'm sure James, I think you saw it, James. I don't know about Kevin and Brandon, and I know definitely Nathan didn't see this, but one of the people that we follow, Gaming Brit, mentioned or I think posted a response towards Hideki Itsuno, the director for the Devil May Cry games. And he'd mentioned make Devil May Cry 5 make it a game about Sparta. And I mentioned, well, they can technically implement things from the anime. Some of those things retcon that in, and the novels retcon those things in. And that's just given that we've seen that in DMC4 SE, where certain aspects of it have been retconned. Certain aspects of the DMC4 novel have been retconned in. But I also mentioned that if it's going to be a Devil May Cry about Sparta, I think they would rather just call it DMC 0 rather than 5. But that's just me personally. I didn't take it too personal when Gaming Brit said, "Oh well," implying that the series has always been subconscious about its canon and chronological order, because that is a good point. Technically DMC 3 isn't DMC 0, but it could be, or DMC 1, and technically DMC 1 is DMC 2 and DMC 4 is technically 3, but the point being is that it wouldn't make sense to call a Sparta game DMC 5, but that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
And then of course you got fanboys on his side, but I don't necessarily blame him for having that opinion or that response. But fanboys that try to take it way out of context and try to be total dicks, that's a totally different story.
And unfortunately, fanboys are fanboys.
All right. Thanks for stopping by, Nate. Real pleasure to have you on. Hope to see you again in the near future. Because you're always welcome on this podcast. But again, thanks for stopping by. But that being said, if you, Kevin, James, or Brandon, if you want to bring up any topics, by all means, take the show floor.
You still want to bring up DNC4 SE?
If you want, go ahead. I mean, it's fair game. This portion is just kind of a chill stream.
Of Stars, though, I'm having a lot of fun with the new characters. My only complaint is I'll admit the little lack of content for 2 of the characters, which is Lady and Trish, because they virtually have nothing to unlock.
We can, okay, like, I agree with you, but I think you can argue that for all of the characters, not just those two
But
specific.
the reason for them specifically, because they literally have almost nothing. They only have one costume, which is EX. The other costume are DLC, whereas the other
yeah, you're
characters-
implying if you didn't even pre-order the game, right?
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, you didn't pre-order.
Yeah, so yeah, that's I can see where you're coming from with that. But yeah, even then, it's lackluster.
Yeah. Still more than DMC though.
Yeah.
How do I sound, by the way?
Good. You got your mic plugged in to your phone?
I can hear in my headset, but I can't speak still, so there's no double port.
Huh.
Oh yeah.
So I'll just have to make do with this, I guess.
Oh, as long as it works.
Have we mentioned Vash's stupid video yet?
Oh, you want to talk about Vash? And
yeah.
I say talk. It's more like shitpost.
yeah, after that video, I unsubscribed. I don't have I don't have a problem with the people that are associated with him. Like, obviously, like Gaming Bread and Hyperbit Hero. Recently, this was like a few months ago. They became associated with him after his channel started getting a little bit bigger. But Pokey, I don't have a problem with. Actually, I knew about Pokey before I even knew about Vash, and I think Pokey's a lot better in terms of creating content, if I'm quite honest myself. In regards to that video, he was super arrogant.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, he was right though for the most part. He was right, but he was arrogant about it. He's like he's like rubbing it in, like I told you so type of attitude.
Yeah, you can argue, well, against me, like, oh, well, you kind of did that with information about Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition when you saw some of the costumes and characters get announced. But yeah, the difference between me and Vash is that I wasn't being, a total dick about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the delivery.
Yeah, look at somebody like Event Status, someone that I generally enjoy watching his content. I agree 99% of the time with his opinions. There's very rarely that I disagree with something he says. And in that case, whenever he's right about something, he's not arrogant about it. He doesn't deliver it in a very arrogant demeanor. Whereas Vash is like, oh yeah, well, I'm better because I predicted this shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, outside of oh, God.
He's not even. I don't know why he talks like he's the best DMC player. Koss is. I'm gonna say I know I say this a lot about Koss, but Koss is honestly a much better player, and he's not a dick about it either.
He's more substance than style.
I totally agree. I've always thought that Koss was a better player. Also, because I know he's associated with Delusionary Killer. I always thought Delusionary Killer was a better player than him.
He's pretty good too.
Even Linda, I forget her username, but she's also a better Devil May Cry player than him.
She's the only one I haven't gotten the chance to check out yet. I'll have to see her play too.
Yeah, she's pretty good. I've checked out her streams.
I'll be ballsy against someone who's a speedrunner. At least with my Virgil, I'd say I have the much better Virgil, because I've seen Vash use him, and he's really boring with them to me.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned in the past that you find his style of gameplay to be boring in
Okay,
general.
just to put a disclaimer
Yeah,
out there, this is not being arrogant.
quite boring.
I'm sorry,
I said,
Brandon.
I said this little disclaimer. This is us not being complete pricks or being arrogant. This is just our honest opinion.
Yeah, we're just being brutally honest on the fact. Like after that video, I unsubscribed. Like I stayed just to kind of see what content he would come out with. Um, that's not to say that his selling point videos are bad. Not at all. They're not bad. They're very in my opinion well structured and honestly not really good videos for the size of channel that he has. Um, but that being said, it's like that's when he's a lot more serious and he's not being fucking arrogant.
His attitude turn you off, right?
Yeah, he goes from when he's being serious and he takes things a lot more serious. It's not he doesn't have that arrogant demeanor towards him, and you can agree with a lot of the things he says, or at least have a subjective opinion on some of the things that he says. Whereas like when he's being arrogant, it's like no, you're just being a total dick right now.
Like he knew he was right, so he has like bragging rights or something.
Right.
There's no bragging rights for fucking guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there have been times where I'm sure many fans have guessed some of those things. Some of the more hardcore fans could have.
I've seen a lot of people
that,
predict. I was saying I've seen a lot of fans predict that Virgil won't get his own full-fledged story, just another DMC3 effect. And well, they were right.
Yeah, I was kind of, Oh, go ahead, James. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
I guessed that immediately. This is Capcom. They're not gonna let Itsuno. At least maybe not for DMC4, but maybe for 5, he'll hopefully get all the fucking time he needs because it's. A lot of people will bash Itsuno, but it's not his fault because he can't tell
He's a developer.
No, I demand more time. He'll get fired. Things like that.
Yeah, he's just a developer, and the higher ups just have to give him the money. Yeah, he had to take what he gets.
Well, it's ironic because the more they rush, the less money they make. Like the sooner the game comes out, the less finished it is, the worse. Actually, this brings me up to a topic real quick. This might be an old article, but you guys know that Ninja Theory actually was taking down negative reviews?
No, are you serious?
I think it's an old article, but I don't know where it is. It was like I know they were taking down a lot of negative reviews. That's all I can recall, which makes me think, well, no wonder people like IGN and GameSpot are giving it 9s and shit because they're not allowed to give it a real, an honest rating at that point.
Are you serious? They actually went on the way to remove negative reviews? That's below scum.
I think it was when the game first came out.
That was just scummy right there.
Yeah, this is why I'm wondering, like, how do you support a company that can't even take criticism?
And they had the balls to make an accolade trailer showing all the praising that the game was getting. Wow, that's just ridiculous.
But it's false praise, and they know it. It's bullshit. It's all staged. If anyone praises it, it's just going to be like the 20% out of the DMC fan base actually likes it.
Despite how some people think of him, Adam Seller had a good review on DMC. Now he said that the writing was completely juvenile.
Well, it is. It's 12-year-olds writing. Honestly, I think someone else summed it up better. It's just it's literally like a bad fanfic.
Yeah, it really is a bad fanfic. Like this is his vision of Democrat. Like he wants a Democrat to be like this. He wanted himself into the role. He wanted to have angels and stuff, which nothing wrong with angels, but this is Devil May Cry, not Angels May Cry.
I mean, DMC4 had the god and religious angel motif going, but that was just a theme. That wasn't, an official. Oh, angels exist because they weren't really.
Angels do coexist, but they're not. The selling point. They're not important. They're irrelevant. So.
Yeah.
So. If anything, what are they doing? That's a good question. Like, what are they doing?
I like that Capcom didn't know what the fuck to call that shit for the past like months when they announced it. Like, oh, it's a prequel. No, it's its own thing. It's a reboot. I was like, can you guys fucking call it something
It's
besides other than trash? Because that's what we know it is already.
garbage. The appropriate name.
No, and the worst part of it is people like fucking Greg that I wanted to bitch slap because you represent Capcom and yet you're a biased piece of shit.
Not right. Remember you said about God Hand? It doesn't deserve a remake. Are you
I
serious?
buy that game in like 5 seconds. I never got to play Goddamn, but I've seen it. It looks so good.
No, even at PS3, you could buy it right now.
I could probably buy it now. I don't have a system to run it anyways.
And go to PS in store on the Sony website. And yeah, you can do it and buy it from here.
I may have to at some point.
All right, I'm back. Where were we at?
Just Greg.
Shit, posting Greg.
Oh, okay. If you guys don't mind me backtracking a little bit, because I was talking about, I'll admit that, yeah, I was kind of going off the cuff and getting way too hyped up. And that happens, but, like, when you're seeing a game that you thought was never going to come, like I never thought I would see a Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. I thought after DMC it was done,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but that's how I felt.
To be
So,
honest,
Huh?
to be honest, that the whole Virgil teaser, I thought Virgil was going to be. I thought DMC4 Special Edition was going to be like an expansion towards DMC4, because that shadow effect seems like Virgil came back to life somehow or something like that. Like, oh my God, Virgil is back! Virgil is back! And then seeing some gameplay, the gameplay was awesome, but the story components, I was hoping to see more, but what can you do?
Yeah, I was hoping for the scrapped things, and we were just talking about Vash, and like, to be fair, like, yeah, sure, I'll say right now, yeah, there were some things that he said in some of his previous videos where I didn't either know about or just like recently found out about and had new ideas revolving around that. So I can thank him for that, but when it the whole arrogance thing is what got me off of that. But going back on this, I was thinking like, oh hey, we might not get like a huge story like 20 missions worth, but we might get something like maybe 10 missions at most,
Yeah.
And then I was saying Lady and Trish being playable, but I said I didn't think that was possible, given that this is Capcom and they would have to actually put effort into it.
Oh, look what
And
happened.
then lo and behold, yeah, I was like, oh, holy shit, I predicted that.
Yeah,
Dumb
people
words at
knew.
Capcom.
Yeah, people knew how DMC4 Special Edition was going to be, and we got more than we expected.
Mm-hmm.
And people still talking about, oh, it's rushed again, like Vash said. Of
It's
course,
not
it's the
rushed, it
same
doesn't
game.
finish.
Capcom never does shit good. Even
I have
the
to make one comment that is true about Capcom. They're good at bringing the hype. They're not
But
good
in a
at
delivery.
delivering after they present it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking screamed like a girl when I saw DMC4 SC for the first time. I was like, wait, what? This is
Virgil is back. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was like, it's not dead! It's not dead! like, it was so good. Like, and I remember talking about it for the first time, and I remember thinking, like, this is a good start. And when I saw DMC DE, I was like, initially, I was just like, I don't really care about it. There's not, regardless of what they put in, I don't really care about it, and I still don't.
They're adding mods.
Yeah, they were like, oh hey, we're gonna take these mods which we're not gonna give credit for, by the way. They didn't do that shit.
Yeah,
You know.
those were the mods that were done for DMC4, and they didn't put the games, the God Must Die and the Must Style in DMC4.
Exactly.
That's what pisses me off.
Because Capcom ain't giving enough money.
Though.
Some people are saying that the must style mode is kind of irrelevant when given that some of the characters are like way too good. I kind of disagree because if you're someone like me who's not good at DMC4 but are better at DMC3,
that's why we need a training mode for that, though.
Yeah,
you're gonna get punished in DMC4. You're gonna get punished in must style mode.
Yeah.
That shit's hard.
But you know, Gods Must Die could have made it in. That could have made it in. What else was there that DMC also added in? They added in Gods Must Die, Must Style.
Triple teleport.
Yeah, the triple angel evade, which wasn't a bad mod. You know, they could implement that into a trickster mode, or they could have implemented certain things that worked via mod or via in-game stuff. You know, implemented that to Trish and Lady. You know, because like
I'm still pissed they didn't give Virgil double hopper, because having Virgil jump around left and right, that would have been so cool if they gave Virgil double hopper just like Nero.
that would have been funny,
Hopper was the
actually.
double trigger.
Yeah, I get that he does in the trigger, but I mean when he's in human, he needs
His mobility sucks.
Yeah.
Virgil has bad mobility, Trish has bad evasion, and Lady is both, I guess.
In Virgil's the frames on the jumps, they are inconsistent. I sometimes get hit just for nothing. I don't know. I jump, but I still get hit.
You know, that happened to me with all the characters. As a matter of fact, though, I think they kind of screwed up some of the physics on some missions. Like mission 18, I think, we fight the Savior. We jump in from panel to panel after you destroy all the jewels. Sometimes the detection just outright misses the panel, whereas in the original, you hit every single panel.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Yeah, that reminds me, the Savior fight. I've had times where I jump on his hand, and this wasn't the case in vanilla. You can jump on his hands or be on his fingers, and you wouldn't slide off. Now you slide off like almost all the time. Sometimes I've had times where I was actually up on his arm and slid off entirely while playing as Virgil. I have no idea what. Yeah, like he must have like some slick oil on him or something. I don't know. Like maybe he went and got lubed up before the fight.
No, I can honestly say that they probably didn't 100% properly play tested Demon Cry 4 again. Because as you know, people say Dante is broken. Now here we are with Virgil. He's even more broken than Dante.
Yeah, Virgil is so broken he can get out of the game.
Yeah.
He is the only character that can get out of the game. Yeah, he's just like, my power is so absolute.
I still don't like this Grim Trick ability. I like Dark Slayer better.
Ow, darn it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have to get in DT every time if I want to do trick down, which is a pain in the ass when I fight Barrier.
You know, it's just like a inferior. Like I'm pretty sure Ono did this on purpose. Because with a concentration meter, Virgil's mobility is completely garbage.
Yeah. Just
Brandon, I know you, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Kevin, again.
okay.
But I know, like Brandon, I know that Brandon mentioned before in the past, like, why not have it so that it's keep the sword teleport, because that's not the problem necessarily, because that's what I was worried about. That's not really the problem. What they could do is just have him just do like a half teleport if you're locked onto an enemy. Doing a directional input for a trick up and a directional input for a trick down.
Cut off from this one right here. I don't mind the new controls they have for it. Just press B or circle for the trick up, and then direct the lock on circle or B to teleport towards, or trick down, lock on back B or circle. I don't mind that new control layout. Now, I don't mind that personally, because it actually feels more comfortable rather than just constantly locking on forward and circle.
There is a problem with it though that I've experienced that it has gotten me killed in Bloody Palace before. If you shoot a sword into an enemy, like and then you lock off and you just wanted to trick up, you'll still trick to the enemy that you already shot a sword into even if you're not locked on. That needs
Yep.
to, that
Yeah.
needs to change. I'll try to dodge like a Mega Scarecrow doing the Sonic the Hedgehog thing. I tried to get out of the way. I tried to trick up, but I already shot a sword, so now I'm fucked. My mobility is going to
Yeah.
right.
I think
Yeah.
it even I've had it in cases where it would actually shoot the sword regardless of whether or not I'm locked on or not.
Yeah,
know?
you have to and we could try and teleport towards an enemy. When you log on and press the style button, he will literally shoot swords at him and then dash
Yeah,
towards them.
no, yeah, I've had it happen where I wasn't locked on and it still happened.
Now here's another problem with that. Well, Don, I want you to finish before I'll continue on. What
No,
are you
I'm
trying to
I'm
say?
I'm good. You can.
Good. Okay, well, no, what that is, it's kind of a pace breaker because you have to wait until he shoots the sword and then teleports. By then, though, you either probably get hit or you fall to the ground. Try to continue and chain that combo together.
There's
Because
actually a quick fix for that. You just gotta shoot regular summon swords rather than the style button.
yeah, but I don't want to have to do that all the time. I just rather want to teleport towards the target. Because with that him shooting the sword, it's like a second or so, and when he shoots it, and then he teleports towards. So that's kind of like that's literally those seconds really does matter. Like in Devil May
Yeah.
Cry 3, you can just go towards the enemy without having any limitations because of the summon
And
sword.
Virgil can't run while shooting swords in that game. He's stuck. He's forced to go into a walk animation every time. So
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. About that with the concentration gauge. I like the idea of not getting hit. Like that should stay. Running is kind of like I don't think that should like. How could you not be concentrated while running? Like.
it's because they want you to play slow like Virgil, basically.
More precise and precision and yada yada yada. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
Virgil's
have,
style. He's quick, swift, and more precise, whereas
yeah, I
Dante
don't
is
really
more.
have a problem with running, but with the shield enemies, they make you lose concentration. That pisses me off real
The
bad.
Yeah,
Angelos?
way too
Oh,
much.
they deflect you.
Angelos are, I can bypass Angelos, but when you get a blitz, sometimes when you are just rapid slashing and he appears in the middle of your rapid slash, fucks you
Yeah,
over.
Virgil wasn't designed around blitz as far as concentration goes.
Even
Well,
Credo.
none of the characters were.
Yeah, no more.
Blitz is just not an enemy for that game, and which is funny because a majority of the enemies are built around Nero, and like 25%
Exactly.
are built around Dante. So you come into this problem when you introduce new characters, regardless of whether or not they're in there, they're not suited for anything else other than scarecrows and mega scarecrows, and then the hellhounds. Whereas Nero is suited for literally every single one.
Because he could grab them and stuff.
hmm when I think I've mentioned this before in the past. The DMC4, or at least the next DMC, if they want to, with DMC4, it would be a better game if the enemies were like what they were in DMC3, where they're a lot of fun to fight. Most of them are very similar in design, but there are some that are different and might attack faster or stronger. There's something about them that's different.
Yeah, I get what you mean, Dom. For example, in DMC3, we had the
Seven
type with the
hells.
scythe, the
Yeah,
scythe
seven.
and
Yeah, seven hells. Yeah.
yeah, 7 health. Yeah, basically the same. They had basically the same. They didn't have armor or things like that with the frost or the what's it called? The
Assaults.
assaults, yeah, the assaults. And you could hit any of them. You could stun lock them in a combo. But here in DMC4, you only got the scarecrows. They are the only enemy who just gets stand up.
What about the hellhounds?
Yeah,
Those cycles are pretty quick though.
yeah,
Noxious jump around
they
way
just
too much.
run around. You just can't get them in combo.
You know, 'cause, like Itsuno, as I mentioned, he likes the unpredictable enemies, and no one's saying we don't like them. What we're saying is don't make them have fucking shields and don't make them be so OP or so.
Yeah, I don't mind them having shields though, but they have to be designed better. They have to be designed better around the gameplay. Especially since they can be pace breaker.
Well, yeah, I mean, they could block, because, I mean, that's been a thing for a while now, you know, where enemies can block at a certain difficulty or more frequently or whatever. That I have no problem with that, you know, where they can parry your attacks just like you can parry their attacks. That's not a problem that I have with the problem that I think I and maybe a lot of other Devil May Cry fans who don't really care for DMC4, despite it being a good game and despite it being one of the best in the franchise, is that like you got enemies that have shields that you can't really necessarily do damage against, and it basically wastes time for you. And it's not really fun to fight because you got to destroy the shield, and then once you destroy the shield, you might fuck up, and then you know they might get another shield, and it's not fun. And then you got Blitz, which is a total dick, and it's you can't do anything until you take off its shield, and then once you do, it's like if you fuck up once and he catches you, you're basically, hey, say goodbye to most of your health, and if you have DT, if you're lucky enough to have DT, and I'm only speaking for much lower level players, you know, then you're fucked essentially.
Yeah, but the problem is with the assault and assault and blitz and frost, they can just take punishment without stepping back, and just counter you while you're in the middle of the combo. That's what pisses you off. And also the Chimera that just don't give a fuck whether you attack or not.
They just swing their little blades around.
Chimera anything that's Chimera is just no. Just
especially the assault Chimera. Just why? Why did they have to exist? Why did they have to be a thing?
If anything, though, they should probably pull the Resident Evil. They instead just turn them into plant monsters that have blades swing around. Why not like turn them into stronger creatures, like larger forms of themselves? No, that will make things better.
That seems like Genma Onimusha, the Xbox version of Onimusha Warlords. Have you ever seen gameplay of it or played it before on Xbox? On the original? Okay, so like what Genma Onimusha did, what they had was green souls. This was like the only one that has green souls, but they introduced those in that specific game.
No Dark Souls?
Yeah. So you basically, you know how like the purple souls work in 2 and 3? How you can basically get an ultimate mode? Well, this was essentially like that, but it was different in the sense it worked like a double trigger. You were infinite, like you had no damage taken, and you reheal your health. Unlike the purple orbs where they gave you like super strong magic power and you had like a shooting attack or whatever, you know? With that being said, it's like what they did is if the enemies take those green souls, they become like larger forms of themselves and they turn like blood red, you know? And that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Dom's a wizard.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I love my Onimusha series. Don't judge.
I ain't judging.
I want hang on.
You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just waiting for Dom.
Has anyone else noticed the stupid changes they made with DMC4 with the enemies? That's the worst part to me.
Like what, more armor?
Sorry about that. Hang on, let me...
Fucking armor. It's so... Oh my god. Alto Angelos are fucking the worst, you know?
Yeah. They just fuck you, air combo. I'm just gonna do it now.
They pop a rocket when they're charging at me, and they don't get stunned. They just smack me through it. It's bullshit.
Oh, sorry, that was my neck.
You noticed the changes they made with the enemies, right? For 4.
Yeah, they seem they're not as some of them are not as passive as they used to be, and some of them are just
More
like
aggressive.
more aggressive when they really didn't need to be.
And armor.
Yeah.
Blitz.
Yeah.
Because whoever decided that Blitz was a great enemy and that people liked Blitz, because I don't know anybody who likes Blitz. I really
It
don't.
just look like a waste of time, to be honest. I just don't.
Yeah, because for whatever reason, Blitz shows up more often now.
It must be because of Legendary Dark Knight.
No, it's not even Legendary Dark Knight mode. If you go on like DMD or Son of Sparta, they just show up more often.
Man, it felt the same for me with other difficulties. It's just more like Legendary Dark Knight. They do appear more often than they should.
And I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like they just got a slightly larger health bar. It might just be me, but you know,
I
it
think
just
no,
seems slightly larger.
They definitely
Slightly.
are. They definitely have a larger health bar because both what's it called, Gilgamesh and the bow, they both receive the damage buff, and they still can take Blitz away. It just takes a Dragon Breaker in DT full charge, a 3 charge Dragon Breaker to kill one of them. When a 3 charge can kill even a boss.
Yeah, you know, but yeah. I mean, I guess we've pretty much already talked about the gameplay aspects and some of the weird balancing of Special Edition. That being said, you guys want to share your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah. Well, I like it though, but I wish some of the design choices from some of the characters, more specifically Trish, could have been done better. She's lacking. She needs Stinger. She needs high time. Well, she has high time. She needs Helmbreaker and a lot more combos. Yeah, and weapon swapping. That's the most important thing. It's Ono, for the love of God, do not pull the same thing again. Do not casualize a character to appeal to the new crowd. Nero is already a streamlined character. Do not do this again, because weapons, not having weapon swapping hurt Trish more than it helped.
It hurts Nero too.
Nero, at least with Nero though, he has some of the basic sword skills. At least with him, he has some of the basics. Oh, sorry. Trish doesn't.
Yeah, Nero's pretty well rounded.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, if you're going in and you're like a longtime fan, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was pretty pissed when I found out I couldn't even fucking use Yamato outside of DT.
Yeah.
The argument you could use is using 2 double armors at once. Other than that, yeah.
Yeah, or it could have been a separate weapon where he fought with it, you know, differently than how he fights with Red Queen.
Yeah, just more aggressive than Dante and Virgil would do.
You know, that might have been the case in the original game. You know, he was supposed to get Styles, so I mean.
How would Styles work with Nero exactly? He doesn't seem
Manual
like
Rev. I feel as though Manual Rev and the you know the shield thing that he gets from Kratos.
Yeah.
Like he was supposed to get an actual shield.
I feel as though that would have been his Royal Guard.
Yeah.
And Manual Rev would have been something completely new.
That sounds like a mechanic used around the Devil Bringer, like having different type of abilities around the Devil Bringer rather than just being Styles. As far as the shields and other things goes for.
Well,
Devil
I
Bringer.
only say that because you know, like they said that originally it was going to be for Dante during the E3 streams, and they couldn't get it to work. It was going to be a Royal Guard thing, you know.
How you gonna get it to work? It was pretty basic.
Apparently, I guess they wanted to work a certain way. I don't know.
Now I'm curious, what way they're trying to get it to work?
Probably the way that it works now, where you just see Nero's phantom arm just kind of hold the enemy up, and maybe it would have done different things, like, I don't know.
Well, they could have done that though. Just have an actual shield pop right in front of you, just blocking everything.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but yeah, those two things I can see being a style. But continue with your overall thoughts.
Oh well, I think that's it though. I think I discussed it earlier.
All right, so I guess either James or Kevin can go right now. I'll go last. Because,
I'm eating, so Kevin can go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'd say the only thing that pisses me off is the problem, the glitch with the Mephisto and the Faust.
Mhm.
Just when they go out on the
Not the map.
out in the arena, where they are like far meters away from the arena.
I've had that happen to me today, actually. I was finishing up the game, and I was playing as Trish, and we're just like way out the way, and I'm like, yo, why is it, not trying to attack me? I thought these things got a little more aggressive in this version.
Yeah, it has happened so many times to me. I'm so pissed with that. I've lost so many bloody palaces just because of that. Also, Virgil is really fun. I have
Virgil's
fun of
fun.
my life.
Versus one. That's like everyone's saying that, like, yeah, Virgil.
He is
Just
fun.
Virgil.
Yeah,
Virgil
he's really
Sugoi.
so good. Yeah. But I haven't played much of the other characters, neither Dante nor Trish Lady, even Nero. I haven't played. Just
Kevin is a Virgil purist.
yeah.
I kind of agree. I mean, Virgil is like same thing with 3. I put more hours into Virgil than I have with Dante. And I feel as though, like, Special Edition, I'm going to be doing the same thing, where I put a few hours into each of the characters, but Virgil is going to be the one that gets, like, me to 80 to 100 hours out of play.
Yeah.
Okay, you know something? I cannot play as Democrat 3 Dante anymore. Because after playing with 4 Dante so much, I just can't go back to the old playstyle.
Because
Really?
4 is better. Just
Yeah, because
Dante's
Yeah.
better.
The
it's the
combat in
defensive
4.
version of Dante. The defensive. Just
I-
like variety, but overall defensive.
I'm kind of mixed. I like DMC3 Dante. I just wish, like, the way that he plays, I just wish that there was style switching.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Because
it's-
I prefer the weapons in that game,
Yeah, I get, but the weapons in DMC4 are more, the moves are better, are smoother, some moves play better in this game than in DMC3. That's why I like it more. For example, the drive or many other things
Yeah.
like combos.
Lucifer needs work, though. That's the only weapon I don't use.
The what?
What?
Lucifer? That weapon needs work. That
Oh, yeah.
feels very unfinished.
I use Lucifer almost all the time. 'Cause I just like blowing people up.
I actually
depends on
have
your
to. I
playstyle.
have to agree with you, James. I mean, I like using it. I use it more than Gilgamesh. I don't really care for Gilgamesh in this game.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. I feel as though it's like, yeah, it feels like it's underpowered.
Well,
really.
it kind of is now compared to Beowulf. So technically, you're actually right.
Well, it was
No,
like it felt like
they
that
don't.
in vanilla.
I mean, I'm talking about officially now. I mean, like you're
Yeah,
actually
especially
right.
right now. But like, it doesn't help that Trish just goes bare hands and or with her bare fists and.
Well, she has electricity to back up those hits. So, plus, Gilgamesh was using Dante's own power, and they're made of metal. So how it doesn't do a lot of damage than it should.
Exactly, and it can stack up and do like several forms that charge up multiple times. How does that not? The cutscene was falsely advertising those weapons. I want a refund. The cutscene was cool as fuck. I was hoping to do some of that shit.
Also, you know something? That should be a double input. The 1-inch punch Dante did to the Hellgate.
I would like that. Tell me what I want Gilgamesh to have.
That shit should have been in the game.
Please let me distort 1-inch punch so I 1-inch punch the planet.
Karate chop of the planet.
Wait, you said Beowulf was weaker than Gilgamesh? Hold up. Hold up. Have you seen fucking Virgil with Beowulf?
Who said
Who
that?
said that?
Yeah, who said that?
Garbage.
Who
yeah,
said
who
that?
said that?
I don't know. I thought one of you said, but I'm just.
No, we
it's
said-
funny to me now, though. Seeing Beowulf back, like it's so fucking strong now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah, it's
familiar.
even better than better than 3, and I liked the one that was in 3.
I like it in 3, but for Virgil, it's much better in 4.
Yeah, oh yeah, because you got the charge attacks now.
Yeah.
Shit that Virgil can get away with, like I took some of Colossus setups, but like I don't know if Colossus invented the heavy rain Dragon Breaker bullshit, but holy fuck, level 3 Dragon Breaker just uppercut the boss's jaw clean off. That's
Yeah,
it.
there's distortion. Use distortion and done deal.
No.
You don't even need to distort. Just do level 3 Dragon Breaker. Everything just fucking dies.
No,
Just
it's
DMT.
overkill. It's
Yeah,
overkill.
just in DMT you need distortion.
Virgil is something else. Or Beowulf is something else. It's without a doubt the strongest gauntlets in the series.
It's weird because I don't remember how good Beowulf was in DMC3, but I did use that in Rebellion the most.
So did I. For Dante, I use both. Now the thing is that what made Beowulf better for Virgil than for Dante, that you don't need to charge, and with the charge though, it comes with extra damage. So outright you do straight up raw damage and combos, whereas Dante you just stop and charge.
That and Virgil had Lunar Phase, right? I don't think
Yeah.
Dante had that.
Yeah.
Lunar Phase is not the best moves Virgil has, along with Rising Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will do Rising Sun, do then how do you go, Falling Star, and then Lunar Phase. That was
Starfall.
awesome combo.
Starfall, yeah. It was close enough.
I dive kick.
You know something?
Yeah.
To be picky, I actually missed the little blue effect from Starfall. If anything, it should have been a top game.
Yeah. That's it. I love that. The blue.
Gone though, because they made Beowulf focus more on the light aspect, which I think it looks really good. Like,
It doesn't look good,
I
but
don't know. Yeah.
amazing.
But in Virgil's case, though, it should have been focused more on like how his moves are named after stars and moons and stuff. So it should have had more like moonlight effect.
That
Yeah.
reminds me, did I tell you guys about how I saw Devil May Cry 3 Virgil without turbo mode? No, Senpai's gone!
Devil May Cry 3 Virgil without turbo.
Without turbo! Oh my god, I wanted to kill myself!
No, I just can't go back without turbo.
No,
I
it
can't.
is so slow!
I can't.
I saw, because like my brother, he didn't know that it was off, right? He didn't know. And I looked at this, I'm like, this shit's slow. This is not how this game plays. I know that for a fact. I've been playing this game long enough to know. I'm like, do you have turbo mode off? Let me see the options. He shows it to me, and I'm like, you forgot to turn on turbo mode, and you've been playing through 95 or like 98% of the missions without turbo mode.
Oh,
With Virgil. With Virgil.
Ooh. The pain.
Lunar
Dawn
Phase,
Rage.
like, oh my god. Lunar Phase is so slow. It's like, imagine seeing Lunar Phase and just how fast that goes, and then just divide that speed by like 15. And it's just going like it's almost like the frame rate is dropping. That's how slow it looks like. It's
No,
going.
I think it's like 20.
Yeah.
20%. Yeah. It's like
20% slower because of turbo mode.
Yeah, it's 20% slower, but it looks so slow. Like
you get used to the 20%. Just you can go back. Once you go turbo, you can go back.
You cannot go back. No, you cannot.
We can never go back. Yeah, I like what they did with Beowulf. I really enjoy the sound that it makes when charges, even the light effects. Still miss the blue light of Virgin.
Yeah, the blue light needs to come back. Seriously.
Someone will probably make a mod.
Dante has a red light, so why not the blue light for Virgil? Nitpicky.
I just love Beowulf design as a weapon. I think it's better than Gilgamesh.
I think it's
My
more
opinion.
substance than Gilgamesh because Gilgamesh is not, I guess, underwhelming compared to Beowulf.
No, I'm not talking about how it plays. I'm talking about the design. The design, the outer look, how it looks, the weapon. I mean, the Gilgamesh looks like I don't like the extended part of Gilgamesh that comes out from the arm. If you, yeah, the one that looks like a duck's face. I don't really like that. That's why I like Beowulf. It's just a simple gauntlet design.
Yeah. And my personal favorite is
I think-
Ifrit.
If it was in DMC1, right?
Yeah.
The dragon one.
The
yeah.
fire.
Yeah, but I love Beowulf more. I've seen that, but I'm
I
more
don't know
Beowulf
if it's
guy.
just. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's just me, but like I had the Sparta costume on, and for like how Dante has the face mask that goes with Gilgamesh.
Yeah.
Like for whatever reason, I noticed that were like they were not there with the normal Dante costume, but with the Sparta costume. For whatever reason, there's like spikes around the face mask that come up. I don't know if that's just a glitch or if they just added that just for the Sparta costume.
That's probably a glitch. Capcom is not.
It's probably because of Sparta himself, because some things do tend to glitch out of Sparta, like Dante's sword, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it can glitch out of him, so that could be it. Same for Gilgamesh.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to get James back in here so he can share some final thoughts before, because I don't want to. I said I was going to go last, so in terms of sharing my overall thoughts on the game.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Oh wait, James got to go. He got some chores to do.
Ah, sad face, senpai, come back.
Now look at Twitter for a second.
Let me see. So yeah, my overall thoughts, I enjoyed the game, but I felt it being a bit underwhelming. This old video. Yeah. Yeah, so I felt as though it was a bit underwhelming in terms of content, but is it a bad game? Not at all.
Yeah, it gets repetitive, like they say, but the combat in this game is far better than any of the franchise. That's what the main selling point is for me. Just if you like the combat of DMC, DMC4 is the way to go. So,
Yeah, but other than that, I would say try it out if you liked previous games. Iwata died.
Wait, what?
Apparently, Iwata died.
Where'd you get that from?
The comment section.
Wait, can you look that up for a second? See, if that's true.
Yeah, they linked me a NeoGAF thing. Apparently, Iwata died.
that's a comment saying, did they confuse Miyamoto for Iwata?
No, Miyamoto's super young.
He's immortal.
Yeah, there's a video where they were calling Miyamoto God.
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God. Or no, he's like, look, God's playing Star Fox without looking at the screen. Like, what the fuck? But no way. I don't know. This is from
Oh my
NeoGaf.
God, he actually is dead.
He did?
Yes, he actually is dead.
Wow, that's kind of that's some shocking shit. We can.
Oh my.
I don't like. I shouldn't be laughing, you know, because Iwata was an important part of Nintendo. But
Oh my God.
that's like the last thing I expected to happen.
I know, right? That's why I'm like, I'm in shock. That's the last thing I ever
I mean,
expected.
Iwata looked so young, man. I mean,
I know, for a 55-year-old. Jesus Christ, my heart sank. Oh my God, I can't believe he actually did.
but you know, there's gonna be some prick that's gonna, you know, talk shit about
What it,
Iwata and like, oh, good, Iwata died or some bullshit like that, and now they can
you know,
replace
some
the
people
CEO.
say if Water should get out of Nintendo business. Well, he did.
Kinda did, yeah, yeah. Not that you know we trying to make a joke out of a not really laughing matter, but
Just saying, people say Water should leave Nintendo, get him out of here. Well, he did.
I got your wish. No, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Do you feel like pricks
It
now?
to be that morbid, but you got it. It morbidly came true. You know, it just you know, I kind of agree with the opinion of him leaving, but did he? It's kind of unfortunate that he died. You know, like
Oh
wow,
my.
Nintendo
Oh,
Direct is gonna be so fucking different the next time it happens.
exactly.
E3 is going the next E3, the next TGS. That's just gonna be different.
Oh my
Also,
God.
It's just not gonna be right with it. Like you're just only gonna see Reggie and Miyamoto. That's just it's not the same without Iwata.
No, no, it's not. Jesus, man. I just felt. I just. I don't know what to say though. I'm just completely shocked. I thought this was just a joke and all, but he's actually dead. Wow. I don't know what to say. Okay, well, Iwata did have poor health. That we knew for sure, but what caused him to die? Hold on, let me look this up.
I don't understand because some of the comments here say it's not true. Polygon fucked up. They say I don't
Well,
know.
it's been reported everywhere, so it cannot be a false.
Well, I would disagree with that, Brandon, because there's been number or numerous times where you know media has messed up on a person's death, or you know, and it turned out that person didn't actually die. Um, you know, it's happened numerous times, not even in recent years, but numerous times throughout history. You know, so I would I would hold off until there's like an official confirmation from you know Nintendo.
Yeah, because I
Well, yep, it's true. It's from Nintendo. Iwata's died.
yeah because I'm reading main events Twitter. Uh,
Got official statement from Nintendo Japan. Iwata is dead. Oh look, someone say he pulled Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll give Iwata credit though. He kept going to the end.
Yeah.
And he was just at E3 too. The worst one that Nintendo did in years. He died shortly afterwards.
Was it the worst
That's
one?
one. Yeah, it's the worst one since 2008, I believe, or 2010. Because
I didn't
last year,
think it was that bad. I thought it was all right.
the reason was bad. It's more like a Nintendo Direct rather than E3. And some other things too, like the whole Metroid Prime thing.
Oh, is it? Yeah, is it
Yeah.
because of the whole Metroid thing? Yeah, I could see why. for more hardcore Nintendo fans.
Because especially from last year's E3 though, they went from winning last year's E3 to being in the bottom. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, James. I don't know if you're watching this. Yeah, it's kind of shocking.
Oh, James still watching?
Yep. Yeah, okay, like
Okay.
I'm reading up on Twitter, and I agree with. I don't know if you all know who Mr. Sam Explains, but he makes a good point on Twitter. Don't think of it as a loss. Think of it as a celebration of that person's life. I agree with that. Like
I don't get it. I'm lost right now. I'm sorry.
you don't get it.
No, I'm lost right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't like he says. Don't think of like that death as a loss. Think of it as a celebration of what they've accomplished in their life. At least I hope that's what he's fucking saying, because if not, then he's a total fucking prick. But
Yeah. Camilla just sent a sad face on Twitter.
Okay, someone just said we wanted him fired from Nintendo. God wanted him fired from life. LOL. That's a bit much.
yeah.
So, are we closing this or?
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
close this on a morbid
Yeah, we
end.
can talk about
Yeah,
private now because this is
that was
nothing
a
to talk about.
yeah,
That
that was a morbid end. But yeah, this has been the BioDevils podcast. We went
and we
from
expected death.
stealth to horror games to somehow religion to ironically death. Actually, from religion to DMC4, which is kind of about religion in a sense. It has religious themes to death. That's kind of fucked up when you think about it in that particular order.
So we're talking about gears. We're talking about horror. We're talking about religion. We're
Yeah.
talking about devils. Now we're talking about death.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
talking about
Let us think in for a second.
gaming development.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll close off with this. Thanks everyone for stopping by. And in regards to the loss of, someone important within the gaming industry, Mr. Iwata will be missed.
At least I hope he will be. No, seriously though, he died too early. He was too young to die.
Agreed. All right. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and we hope to catch you in the next BioDevils podcast. Hopefully, it won't be so morbid at the end, but
You never know. Where are the devils?